Ladies and gentlemen, great to see you. Welcome on in. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm very happy to have you guys here. Tonight we're going to be doing our first stream of Dungeons and Dragons in our first ever campaign, and my first campaign streamed, the Bastion of Blunderville. So welcome, guys. We're going to do a little bit of a warm-up here. I recommend you do this as a DM. At the end of the day, the purpose of these streams are to be informative, and also kind of like a little guideline on if you want to run a game, how it's done and stuff like that. So yeah, how are the names? Readable? Good. The hardest part of all of this was getting the text legible. But I think we got it. Yeah, we got it in a pretty good spot. But I'm illiterate. Well, welcome. I'm gonna pop pills really quickly. Simply because I have I have allergies. Okay. A big shout out to Sungwhistle, who actually got the whole orientation laid out. So she made those the frames were all in, and she set everything up. So a big shout out to Sung for helping us out there. And eagle-eyed viewers might notice a hidden Mizuno somewhere on the screen for you to find. So if you want to give that a shot, try to find it, be my guest. But welcome, guys. So first thing, we're going to do an introduction. Now, once more, I do want to reiterate, this stream is more for the people who are in it than anyone else. So I won't be responding to chat. I won't be doing much of that. It's exclusively going to be focusing on our characters, and you guys just get to watch. Okay. So just so you know, if you have anything you want to say, or you want me to say hi to you, now is the time to do it. Other than that, we will be more or less ignoring chat. Sorry, chat. This is our first session. We have done a couple session zeros already with most of these people. So they are already in an area. I'll be describing that and doing the narration for that in a second. But first, I want to address my people. So hello, players. Most of you are muted. Hello. You don't need to respond. As long as you can hear me. So just so you know, we are going to be starting our campaign right now, where I'm assuming this is going to take somewhere between 15 to 20 sessions to finish. This is the Bastion of Blunderville, a high fantasy horror campaign set in the Forgotten Realms in the Sword Coast region in the year 1369 DR. We have 7 people playing with us and 1 DM me, so this is an 8-person team. I expect and hope for my players that they will be respectful of the time that they are supposed to give to other people, their players and myself, and make sure you try not to make everything about you, and also be mindful of people's personal space and well-being, and try not to railroad anyone into something they don't want to do. We will all have the most fun if we communally share an equal piece of this delicious pie. Before we start, I do want to know, I asked this for most of you in the beginning, but I'll ask again, if there's anything that might trigger you, something that makes you feel uncomfortable, something that you just don't want to happen around you or to your character, now is a good time to let me know. things that might be off limits. So if anyone has something that's off limits to them, or they just really don't want anything to go there, please tell me.
I'm good.
Let's roll with it.
Nothing.
Hi.
Yep. Trust you.
Fantastic. I do recommend any DM out there who does want to dungeon master a game, always ask that question because you never know. This is a horror campaign. Things will be as horror as tabletop allows, which isn't very, but expect the normal content matter that is associated with that kind of setting. And yeah, I think we're good to go. Is everyone good?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay. So, chat, you guys ready to go? Alrighty. Everyone is ready. Let us begin. The year is 1369, deep in the northern reaches of the Sword Coast. The Sword Coast is a region of Faerun, home to such cities as Waterdeep, Neverwinter, or quite famously now, Baldur's Gate. This takes place in the year 1369, which I think I've said 3 times now, but I'll say it one more time, I'm sure, by the end of this speech. Currently, as is often the case, the realm is not in trouble, though when great calamities or would-be deities or the hells rising up to face the earth itself, whenever that does tend to occur, it does tend to occur in the Sword Coast for whatever reason. But for now, it's calm. The ocean happily laps at the large cliffs that border its great blue domain. These cliffs are jagged and large, some strikingly white, and they tend to look like giant blades, and they're jutting out of the earth and striking into the sea, hence the name Sword Coast. We're near a small town known as Waterdeep. I say small town, it's actually a giant city. One of the biggest trade ports in all of Faerun, if not the biggest, and also a gathering place for people of all walks of life. In fact, many of you would have come and did come from Waterdeep and here are about your business. For one reason or another, you have all made your way towards the High Forest and the Southwood. The Southwood, of course, being to the east of Waterdeep, and the High Forest being just north of the Southwood. You've come there because you've heard rumor, or perhaps you were sent there on an errand of some sort, or to help out, that people have been going missing. A lot of people. Caravans head out and cease to return. In fact, caravans have ceased coming out of the High Forest altogether. And while the odd griffin attack or bandit raid isn't too uncommon, at this rate, it is something to note. Yet, not something that a lot of people are really focusing on, you know? It's just, who knows what it might be. Maybe there's an orc gang that's kind of making the woods their home now, or perhaps there's some rogue wizards doing some wizard shit. But for whatever reason, yeah, you've decided that perhaps this might be the low effort and low risk adventure that you've been seeking for the longest time. We arrive now just north of a town called Secomber, following up the Unicorn Run River. right before the entrance to High Forest, a small town, a hamlet almost, on a calm river known as Calmwater. 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 Not the other thing. Okay? And before we go into the more exciting thing that has recently occurred in Calmwater, we are taken to the Sandy Hearth. The Sandy Hearth is a small tavern and inn. It's the size for a town with at least 70, 80 people, most 80 people. And it often sees travelers as their way to to and from High Forest back to Succumber. It doesn't see a lot of traffic. There are a few rooms. It is well kept. Doesn't see a lot of fights or brawls or much damage. So the wood is strong. Glasses aren't chipped, and the rooms are cozy. The rooms are cozy, and in one of these rooms, on the second floor of the Sandy Hearth, is a sleeping halfling woman who is having a very hard time sleeping. Sylvie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sylvie Buttergarden. I'm a very small halfling, just over 2.5 feet tall. I have dark black hair with some silver streaks, tied up in a bun pretty much all of the time. And I wear some very nicely made monk's garb. I have icy blue eyes and some deep black circles under my eyes. I am quite thin, a lot of lean meat there. I don't look like I would taste very good.
Taste is not something a lot of people think when they first see you, but perhaps the odd goblin of sort has decided not to jump a caravan carrying you. You are awoken quite violently. The dark circles under your eyes getting a bit darker, unfortunately, by what sounds to be a almost calamity outside. There's shouting and spell casting. You hear crossbows being loosed and people screaming, children yelling, the clatter of iron on iron and steel on wood. There's definitely something happening outside. What do you choose to do?
Sylvie will roll out of bed and run towards the window. She'll place one foot on her staff that she sleeps with, and kind of use it to bounce herself up in the air, up onto the windowsill, so she can take a peek outside.
Gazing out of the slightly foggy window and through the blinds, you do notice that on the bridge right outside of the Sandy Hearth, there's a fight going on. You're kind of catching the end of it. There's a couple of dead bandits that you can see. They look like bandits. They got tattered rags, and standing on top of the bridge at the very kind of near the town side of it is a dwarven just mound of mass. He is wielding a very hefty battle axe, and in front of him is a man rend in two. You can also see a lot of green sizzling gunk all over the bridge, as well as closer to you on your side of the bridge, a halfling woman or a half-elf woman covered in mud, pushing what seems to be a child up the bank of the river as she slides back down. You know, imagine Sisyphus. She's just trying to get this kid up that bank and back onto the road. It seems you've caught the end of it. And outside, you also notice the man who sold you the room. The Ulfric, the half-orc gentleman who runs the inn, is kind of on the ground holding, his leg. He seems to be a little bit injured, but he is moving, which is more to say than the men who surrounded him.
All right. Can I leave my room and go?
You can do whatever you want.
Leofric?
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to leave my room and tend to Leofric.
Rushing out of your room, you head towards the bridge, and that's when you start hearing the shouting and commotion a bit clearer, and you first notice a half-elf woman covered head to toe in mud who has finally gotten this child, this screaming, kicking, and crying child, who is dripping wet up on top of the embankment near the bridge. And we see Runa Kendry. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, my name is... I'm a half-elf, and I came along for this ride because I just feel like there's more to life than sitting up in a castle and making money. So I have purple skin. I've got some long dark hair with a like green streak in it. And I really don't enjoy being covered in mud. So I think I'll probably change clothes soon.
As you kind of walk past the half-elven woman who is just, trying to get her to her best ability, the caked layers of mud off her, and as you head towards Leofric, you see another gentleman helping him up, that dwarf from earlier. You can see a bit better now that he is quite battered and beaten, and he's definitely going to have a large puffy eye, and as soon as the adrenaline wears off and some time has passed. But for now, this bruised and battered dwarf can introduce himself. Belgit.
Belgit has dark, scarred, tan skin. Any bit of skin you can see on him is covered in scars. He's got kind of a deep brown hair, a little bit of gray creeping in. He actually is, I believe, canonically the oldest member of this party. And he stands at about 5'2" for a dwarf. Pretty tall, pretty big, pretty built. And he's about all muscle. He is currently wearing chainmail. And as he approaches Runa, you see he's beat up, but glad to see she's okay. Runa, you missed the fight completely. I didn't hear any of your martial arts from over there.
Legit, I ran to get the child out of the water.
Oh, well, of course. You were the best equipped to do it.
My quick hands were best used to rescue the child.
Runa, your mic is not picking up like the first syllable of every word you say.
That's awesome. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm so sorry. It was working the whole time.
It's completely fine. Just wanted to mention it.
Is this better?
That is better.
Okay. So, Belgit, you didn't see me because I used my my martial arts to run in the water and grab the child. That's what Aerith instructed me to do.
Absolutely, I would have sunk like a stone. You did perfect.
You did a very good job, though. Those were some mighty whacks with the axe.
I have much experience at whacking, as I pointed his head.
That you do. Sylvia, your ears kind of pick up as you hear the mention of martial arts, something you are very used to, given the fact that you've trained at the monastery of Ilmater for quite some time.
Yes.
So whether or not you want to mention that?
Yes. Upon finding out if Mr. Sandrin is all right, I would absolutely turn to this woman and be like, martial arts? Are you a practitioner?
I prefer not to speak of my training.
Yeah, she's very humble.
I see. That's lovely. I've been practicing for roughly the last 15 years. Maybe we could spar sometime.
Maybe at another time after I get all of this mud off myself.
You hear the
Sure.
you hear the bruised and beaten Leofric kind of as he starts getting up with the help of Belkit, and he says, "I haven't had a scrape like that in 20 years." And you hear a big like as he pops his back and kind of moseys on over, and is currently he's got his he's quite tall, standing at probably about 7'1", kind of using our dwarven friend here as a walking stick, holding him up. He turns towards the dwarven man and says, "Who do I have to thank for saving an old man's life?"
Well, I am Belgit the Bullet Axebringer, and these are my companions.
Belgit, I've heard your name before. Fight in the arena, don't you?
I.
To think I'd see a celebrity in old Calmwater. And, he kind of turns his body, and with it, he turns your body as well. Belgit, so you can get a better look at the two women before him, the halfling and the half-elf. He immediately notices his customer, Sylvie, and says, "I hope I didn't wake you, ma'am."
Oh, it wasn't you, sir. It was everything else. Are you all right?
Well, hopefully the only bit of me that did wake you was me beating the screams out of my enemies. And then as he's laughing, you see a little bit of blood pop off. But I'm fine. Very kind of you to consider an old man like me.
Well, I did pay you good money to take care of me, so...
Well, paid me money for a room. I'm not your dad. And then he turns to the half-elf woman who's kind of off, still trying to get the mud off of her. That currently has a small half-elven child hiding behind her, drenched in water. And he looks towards her and says, "Little Miss Tremel, hopefully they didn't scare you, did they?" And the little elf kind of girl goes, shakes her head. It's kind of shy and bashful, hiding behind Runa. Thank you for saving little Miss Tremel there, lady. What is your name? I didn't happen to catch it.
My name is Runa. You're welcome. To who does this child belong?
That's Thalia's daughter. The woman across the way. I saw you talking to her. You might know her as the one who can cast fire from her fingertips. And you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We noticed that. Would you mind taking this child while I go get washed up?
Of course! He takes one step and almost face plants on the ground. He once again grabbing onto Belgit. He says, he has you with him now, Belgit. You're going with this guy for a bit.
Let me help you out.
Oh, thank you, Belgit. Come on now, little Tremel. Follow me. And they start walking across the bridge towards two men kind of conversing or bickering. It's hard to tell, Sylvia, as you look over. And you now notice a taller gentleman, tall compared to this group who were, and you, who are all quite short. A taller tiefling gentleman with striking dark blue skin and very illustrious horns that poke out from the top of his skull and kind of pierce the sky above him. And he's almost standing like this, staring nearly straight down at a smaller gentleman, still a bit taller than you, who is just decked out in all sorts of bits and baubles on him. And we will introduce Bareth and Wilrick.
Bareth.
You're Bareth. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I am Bareth. It's true.
Sorry, yeah,
Is that okay?
Describe Bareth to me. Sorry about that.
I was about to, if it's all right. Bareth is a tiefling who stands roughly 5'10". He looks fairly young, with midnight blue skin and white hair that's sort of messy, along with a white goatee to match. He has gray horns that come out from his forehead and swoop back along the top of his head before they curl up into points. His eyes are black, save for the fiery red irises. He wears a set of brown leathers, jerkin and pants with some dark purple fabric draped across from one side to the other. A matching cloak, which you see him pull the hood up to cover his horns after a few moments. You see that he also has several belts that have pouches and knives, daggers, and a boomerang for some reason. You also notice that while one of his hands is gloved, the other is just wrapped in bandages, as he's leaning on a walking stick, chatting with the shorter gentleman.
Wilrick, why don't you describe yourself?
Hi. Wilrick is, he would tell you he's a little over 3.5 feet tall. He was wearing a leather overcoat, and all over that overcoat are sewn pockets that appear to be full of something. You assume he knows where where everything is in all the pockets. Across his body, he has a sash with various vials and containers on it. He's, like I said, he would say he's a little over 3.5 feet tall. He has bright green hair that clearly isn't natural, with red streaks in it. He has a pretty magnificent mustache. And his skin, while he is a rock gnome, his skin appears to be slightly unusual in color for a rock gnome, a little bit darker and deeper. He he has a shield in one of his hands, and in the other he currently is holding some tinkering tools, but all over his body, like I said, he has pouches and pockets sewn into his leather overcoat, his pants, and bottles hanging from his sash and from his belt. And right now he looks a little bit distraught, a little unsure of himself, and is talking with Bareth about how that fight, that I've never been in something like that before.
Well, granted, we've had some close scrapes, but you're right, we haven't ever gone up against bandits. Hiding from spiders is a little bit different.
Yeah. I was just didn't expect this today.
Neither did I. By the way, how long is that acid supposed to keep burning for on the bridge?
Speaking of the acid, you notice now Belgit kind of ushering over a half-orc gentleman, and they also got a young half-elf little girl with them as they're coming over, and the mage, the wizard next to you, who was holding the line at the bridge and assisting you in the fight, screams, Daria! And she kind of runs over and gingerly steps over the pit of acid currently burning through the bridge, as she runs towards her daughter. Oh, Daria, thank you! And she turns to Leofric, and she says, Leofric, you saw one of them get away, yes? Yes, I did, but I'm in no position to give chase. And he kind of stares down at the dwarf right beneath him.
I mean, we can chase them if that's what you want.
Oh, you would? I wouldn't. I couldn't possibly ask for you to do something like that.
Okay.
Leofric kind of points at the two gentlemen at the edge of the bridge talking, the tiefling and the gnome, and says, well, you're in better shape than him. Come on now. You're gonna let one get away?
I will look over at Willie and say, well, what do you think? Should we go after him? It is entirely possible that he'll bring in some kind of reinforcements if he has a larger band out there somewhere.
At this point, I just don't see how we can catch up. I don't even know where he went. He ran off into the woods, and I'm not a tracker.
Very true.
Is anyone here?
We need a tracker. That's what we need.
Leofric does turn and point down the bridge as he gets closer to you guys and kind of puts one arm around you, now using you, Wilric, as his kind of walking cane. He says, you see down there, that creepy small thing? And you see down the bridge someone who wasn't currently in the party when you guys encountered these bandits here on the bridge. This small, almost wisp-like figure. You see it's even short for a halfling. That's kind of almost at the knees of Runa over in the corner. You see that small creepy thing there? Came into the inn here earlier this morning. Ghostwise.
Yep. Yeah.
You know Ghostwise, yes?
Ghostwise? No.
Am I saying that right? Ghostwise?
Yeah. You got it.
Ghostwise, halflings. Live in the wilderness. Track elk. Orc. Eat flesh. If someone knows how to get him, it'd be creeps me out though. I don't want to talk to her.
I suppose we could do the talking, right, Wilfric?
Wilric? Yeah. We could who's Wolf?
I'm too used to calling you Willie, so
Underneath
Yeah,
the bridge, there's
Billy
a
Wobbles.
underneath the bridge. There's a human man starting to look at the acid dripping down, and he's grabbing wood and getting ready to fix it as he's got some bridge repairs to do. And he hears Wilfric, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's me. You need something?"
yes. How's that cleanup going?
Just about started.
Oh, good luck.
Thank
Damn shame
you.
the bandits did that to the bridge.
Wasn't the bandits? It was the little one. As he points angrily up at Wilric.
I don't know what he's talking about. I was fighting the big thing.
Yeah. I don't know. The little one that looks like her over there, right?
I was sleeping when this happened.
A likely story.
So
Before we
you can track, huh?
anything.
You guys walk over. You're currently across the bridge, which is about 80 feet. So you're a good distance away. I'll say you guys walk over, the three of you. You kind of wrestle your head out from underneath Leofric's grasp, and he quickly replaces it with the young child who
Good luck.
soaking head to toe. Go get him! And you guys walk down, and you now reunite with Runa, who is currently talking to this small skeletal halfling.
Before we track anything, I need to get out of these muddy clothes.
Yeah, you're covered in Calmwater, you are.
Yeah, I know. Where might I get changed? You know?
I would suggest not on the street.
You
Thank you,
could
Belgic.
use my room.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Can you point me in the right direction?
Yeah, second floor, room 202.
Okay. We'll be
Here's
right
the
back.
Room 202.
Thank you.
I watch her walk off.
You guys are amazed
Nobles.
that Runa had the same idea of tracking the bandit that Leofric did, because she definitely didn't hear him say that, nor was she a part of that conversation. So luckily,
Before we
Her
do
hearing is
anything else,
incredible.
there we go.
here's one of my
A very
martial
insightful.
arts powers. Is supersonic here.
So Runa heads off towards the sandy hearth to get changed, and as she leaves, Bareth, you and Wilric and Belgit walk up upon the Ghostwise halfling there.
So hi there. What's your name?
You can call me Sylvie.
Hi Sylvie, I'm Wilric. This is Bareth and Runa. Or well, Runa you just met. And Belgit.
Yes, Runa is in my room right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's quick.
I forgot. Yeah. She ran. I can't believe she went so fast.
Go fast.
So, Leofric said that you might be able to help us find the bandit who got away.
Sure, I have some skill in tracking. Yes. Should we go now?
I mean, we'd probably wait for her to get dressed, but yes.
I suppose.
Probably at least that much.
I mean, yes.
Did you have a servant in there?
Distance.
A servant.
Yes.
She looks down at herself in her monk's garb. What do you take me for?
Oh, I don't take you for anything. It just means we're gonna have to wait longer.
So do you guys choose to wait for Runa to get dressed?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Belgit, if I may,
You might.
you certainly gave a pounding and a slashing to that brute. But you took a little bit of one yourself, too. Maybe we should take this opportunity to get you patched up before we go traipsing off into the woods and to who knows what?
Absolutely. As hard as I beat him, he beat me.
Right. About getting you patched up, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. I wonder, Sylvie, you stayed in the town at least. Would you happen to know if there's a healer about?
Would I happen to know if there's a healer about?
You would know that Leofric did give you kind of a lay of the land
Okay.
of where people might be. In fact, he gave you a labeled map of the city that shows you where things are.
So, yes.
So I will drop it in the D&D channel Discord for you guys to look at.
Oh boy.
Because I can't do it in person, unfortunately.
Slacker.
And then I will pull it up for
If you were sponsored by FedEx, we could do that.
yeah. I sent you a raven.
Thank you.
So now that you get a kind of better look, you know that in the direction that the bandit gentleman did flee, that you guys saw, not Sylvie. Sylvie does point out that there is an herbalist that
An
is,
apothecary, even.
yeah, in the area.
Are you interested in an apothecary, or should we go try to find a cleric?
I feel like if I just got maybe a 10-minute short rest, I might be all right.
In the
That is
distance.
up to you.
Runa,
Apothecary seems like a good idea, I think, Belgit. Plus, we can see if there are any supplies we can grab before we hit the road.
Yeah, I think
since Runa is traipsing back. As she traipses back, the group sees her in a giant mud puddle. It splashes her right leg. Sighs and
Dear.
continues back to them.
She's not the most coordinated, is she?
For a martial artist, no, it's kind of strange, but I've seen weirder things.
Poor
If
girl.
you guys are gonna take a short rest, correct? You want to I'm assuming that's what you're trying to get at.
That was
Yes.
an idea.
Yep.
yes.
Go ahead, take a short rest. And during this short rest, do me a favor, Sylvie. First roll of the campaign. Let's go.
It applies during short rests too?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
no,
Never mind.
not that one.
Just a D20?
Do me a favor. You're gonna try to track them, right?
Yes, I am.
What would you like to use?
think-
Investigation?
Do I want to track right now? Because I think we were going to go to the apothecary as well. Or should we go before the trail
mean-
gets cold?
He did start moving in that direction. We can do the roll now, or you can do the roll after the apothecary. It's up to you.
I'll roll now. No worries.
Okay.
I think survival is typically tracking.
Investigation or survival. You can
Okay.
also do nature if you'd like.
I like survival.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Oh
First
my
roll.
god. Oh my god. It rolled twice. I don't know why. I will fix that. But it wasn't good.
I think it rolled twice because you have advantage. But
I-
you did roll.
I rolled a natural 1. I know that was one of them.
Yeah, but the other one was a 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Plus 5, so you got 10.
Oh, it's because of Lucky. It's because of Lucky. I am a
That's right.
halfling.
Oh, it automatically
God.
re-rolled because of Lucky. Okay.
Oh, good.
For those that don't know,
Uh,
there's a halfling feat called Lucky that allows you to, if you get a critical miss, you get to re-roll it.
Wow.
But either way, I rolled like garbage.
Okay, so you got 10.
I got a 10.
With a 10, you kind of get low to the ground, which isn't hard for you. You're almost there already. You get low to the ground and you kind of search and you notice some footsteps and disturbed earth and dirt kind of spewed around from the fighting that happened. There's blood. There's quite a bit of blood, but most of the blood that you see are splatters, kind of shooting out from cuts and stabs that might have happened. But you do see some that look like droplets, that seem like they're dropping down from someone instead of being forced out of them. It's less of a spray and more of a drop. And you are able to pick up this splattering of blood as it heads eastern out of the town and along the river.
Okay, so blood droplets heading east.
Yeah, you could choose to share that with the people you're with, or keep that to yourself. It's up to you.
All right. Wilfric. Wilrick. Oh my gosh, he's broken.
You hear
me.
the guy. You see the guy working on the bridge. He goes, "Hey, you want something?"
No, sir, not you. Wilrick.
Yes.
I see these blood splatters. They're heading out towards the east. I think that's where we should start our search.
I mean, that is the way he ran, so that makes sense.
Well, you asked me to do a job, and I was simply trying to help.
Yeah, we can follow the blood splatters. So you think you can keep an eye on them and figure out where he went?
As long as
Hopefully.
the blood splatters don't move, yes, I should be able to do that.
Good. During this time, while we're taking this rest, Wilrick is interested in revisiting the smith who he spoke with to discuss a future project that he has in mind.
Interesting. Just so you know, you've been tasked with following someone who 3 or 4 minutes ago, maybe 5 tops now, ran off, and you're trying to chase him. So if you go to the apothecary or you go to the smith, it's going to be more difficult to track this person down, and it's more likely you're not going to catch them. So if you do want to do these things, understand that your current task is going to get a lot harder.
So my understanding was a short rest is about 1 hour.
No.
Okay.
No, we're talking like if you take your short rest now, number one, you can take a short rest while moving. It just means you're not like moving at a rigorous pace. And
then not right now.
Yeah, for me, a short rest is more like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
then
10
not
to
right
15.
now.
No. Okay.
Sure. Once Belle gets ready, and Runa probably has tried to rinse off the mud on her leg again. Then we should probably gather everyone up and get going that way.
Yes, I agree. The early worm is the last to drown, after all.
With that lovely idiom or phrase, are you guys heading to the apothecary, or are you just gonna head out of town?
Bell gets ready to rumble.
If you guys are good to go,
All right.
heading out eastward, you guys kind of pick up the pace a bit after a short little way to shake the the cracks and the creaks out of your bones, and get back to a better fighting spirit. About 10 minutes out of town, you pick up the pace, and you notice that the river is kind of heading towards something of a larger lake or pond, as the embankments on the side of the road start to get less steep and gradually become more of a almost like a beach, with, instead of mud and dirt, there's rocks and pebbles and fine sediment that's being pushed up onto the side of the road, just a couple feet off the road itself. I'm gonna need Sylvie to do one more survival check to see if you're able to continue on this man's track.
An 8.
Unfortunately, it seems that either your eyes aren't as good as they used to be, or perhaps
I did just wake up.
yeah, maybe he stopped bleeding so much, maybe he patched the wound, but you do lose track of his trail somewhere on this calm beach.
Maybe I can help. Could we go back to where we last saw some tracks from him and try to pick it back up, and perhaps I could help too?
Yes, right back over here.
You lead him back towards kind of where this like little pond or lake area where the river kind of bends into. You end up in this area near the front of it. There's like some disturbed ground, bushes in the area, trees. I'm not sure what you're looking for, but what do you want to do, Wilrick?
Is there any way I could try to make a nature check to pick up the trail, follow it myself, or
Nature check?
or something else?
Yeah, you can do a nature check.
All right. I mean, I want to try to find the trail, and if nature check is
I feel like investigation might be better for this.
okay. I'll do investigation.
Yeah, you're not like deep in the wilderness yet, where you could follow snap twigs or whatever. Ooh,
Impeccable.
a 19. You kind of look around. And you do notice that the blood has stopped, and that's kind of what she was following. You notice that, but you also notice some of the rocks and pebbles on this beach are kind of pushed back and looks like almost a footstep, and they head towards the water itself. So you kind of assume, using that big old rock gnome brain of yours, that he probably ran along the beach at this point. That's why the blood stopped. He's near the water, and probably went along the water's edge, continuing up.
So it looks like he went up to the water here and was running along the water. So it looks like he went this way. So I say let's follow it this way if everyone else feels good.
Let's do it.
Right. You guys follow the embankment. Nope. You follow the beach, for lack of a better term. You follow the beach for quite some time, probably another 10 or so minutes as you wrap around this large section of calmer water, until you notice a kind of a gap in a bunch of rocks near the edge of the beach. That again, Wilrick, with your investigation check, you notice is somewhere interesting, at the very least. It's worth checking out.
It looks like there's a gap up here. Maybe it went that way. Maybe it's. I think we should check this out as we go. The gap in the rocks up here.
All right.
Well,
Go on.
gnomes first. I like the idea of dwarves first. How do you feel about that, Belget?
I'll do it.
Sylvie
So
heads towards it.
marching order, you got Belget and Sylvie in the front, Runa in the back, and I guess Wilrick. Wilrith. No one's gonna get your name right.
The third name.
The
Wilrick
Balrath
and
of this version.
Wilrick and
I?
Bareth are in the middle. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Wonderful. I'm glad that sounds good to you, because I'd like you to place your guys in that order, on this new map.
On the table.
Black.
I'm
You
blind.
can't see anything, right?
Right.
Nope.
Nothing.
Perfect. That's on purpose.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Now you can see, hopefully. Small thing.
A little bit.
For people who don't know, the map that you guys can see, they cannot. They can only see the parts that I highlight. this is to keep some sort of element of surprise, and because obviously they wouldn't be able to see inside something. Wilrick, as you lead them into the cliffside gap near this lake, you notice some of the rock looks a bit weird in that it's not rock or boulders, it's cobblestone. And it's not sitting there so much as it's put there with spackle, and there's a lantern hanging from the wall as well, as a little bird cage that's kind of hanging off one of the corners of the walls, with a, you know, skeletal wing kind of on the side of it. Someone forgot to feed something or other. And then on the cave face itself, you see a large metal door that's just, you know, jammed into this rock face, with a little bit of cracks on the top and bottom.
So on this, we're heading left to right.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask because I'm contractually obligated to. Can I roll to see what I know about the rocks?
Yeah.
I was just about to ask if
Yeah, you can ask about the rocks. Good rocks. Good rocks, old rocks, for sure. They look like limestone, you'd say. Typical for this area. And the rocks in front of you don't seem to be hampered with too much, other than with a probably hammer and chisel. They kind of broke some pieces off. You can tell that there's a little bit of work done to the cave face in front of you. As for the stone wall in front of you, it's cobblestone.
If a history check applies with my stone cutting, I got a 19.
Okay. These rocks did really well in school. They were top of their class in rock school. It's limestone. This is a natural formation for the most part, except for this little door here that you can clearly see someone has chipped away at the cave face and then shoved the frame of a metal door in and then installed the door. This is very haphazardly done.
These are
Craftsmanship
beautiful
is
worked
impeccable.
limestone. Expert craftsmanship. It's quite beautiful, really.
Bruno rolls
I
her
wonder-
eyes at the back of the group.
You should
wonder,
feel lucky
Belgian-
to have seen this. This is art.
It's
feel
just
so
just so
lucky.
everyone knows, it's just a couple rocks.
So,
Should we knock?
Oh, to deface this art.
is there evidence that people have traveled here recently, other than us?
Absolutely. You do see a couple drops of blood in the sand as you walk up, and directly in front of you is a bunch of footsteps that have displaced sand, and there seems to be foot traffic here.
So there's some blood here. I think this might be where he ran off to. So it's quite possible. I don't know who's behind this door, but it could be him, and it could be more.
I look at Sylvie.
You ready?
Do you want to go first?
I don't mind if you want to go first.
I mean, I don't mind either. I'm just being polite.
What's going on up there? Bruno yells from the back.
They seem to be deciding who's going in first.
And they haven't even thought about if they can open the door yet.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
They think about knocking? That's what I said.
No, why would we
Don't
knock?
knock.
Why would we knock?
I
polite.
could just
All right,
tap it with
just-
my
I'll-
I
stick.
walk up
I'll
between
do it.
them and
I'll
start
just do it.
opening the door.
As the two of you are talking, Wilbur kind of pushes his way in between the two of you and grabs the door handle, and activates the trap of Fireball. So let's.
dear.
No, I'm kidding. So he grabs the door handle, pulls, and to no avail. You give it about as much effort you would try to open a door that size. It does not seem to budge in your gnomish hands.
Do we have any thieves?
I hope not.
Will
Try
we-
to charm the door into opening.
I wouldn't
you
say
have-
I'm.
Something for this?
I wouldn't really call myself
I'm
a
not
thief, but
sure.
locks. It's a mechanical thing. I have a little bit of experience with that kind of thing.
Are you a locksmith?
Let the master show you how it's done. Go ahead.
Is there a visible lock on the door?
There is a visible lock. Yeah.
All right. I'm pretty sure I have thieves' tools. Let me make sure of that.
Okay.
Well, I hope you brought them.
I will say that you probably have
Yeah, I do.
a
I do.
lockpick on you. You're a artificer. You tinker.
Yeah, I do have thieves' tools.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see how adept I am at handling that lock. It's the lock picking gnome.
Give me a sleight of hand, and you get +1 for using thieves' tools.
I guess I just have to add that manually.
Yeah. Just roll, and then I'll add 1.
Okay. All right.
The man
So-
is nimble with his fingers as he delicately slides the tip of the lockpick into the hole. You know, not too fast, not too hard. Gets it about halfway, jiggles it a little bit. You hear the lock squeak a little bit. That ain't it. A little bit further. Ooh, that sounded better. And with his ear pressed against the door, as he deftly maneuvers his tool in his hand, he is able to get the lock to obey his command, and it unlatches.
All right. Now you can go first, Belget.
Okay.
Well done, Willie.
I bow.
Bogan, how do you open the
I-
door?
The master.
I'm just gonna open it and immediately just step in and see what I've got.
You push or pull?
Ooh, good question. Can I check the hinges to see if I can figure that out?
You can't. The hinges are visible.
I'm just gonna push.
Embarrassingly to everyone, you do push, and it does not move.
Just what I thought. I pull.
It opens up, and you feel a wave of cool breeze kind of hit your face, and the ones behind you guys feel it as well. As the somewhat temperate climate that you're in, you know, it probably feels like it's about 80 degrees outside. But you open the cave and you feel this rush of probably like 60-degree air, right? It's very refreshing, very cooling, and you know, I don't know if you've been to Disneyland. I don't know how else to explain this, but you know that like smell you get on Pirates of the Caribbean. If you've been, it's that smell. You know,
Water.
So, yeah, water. You get that smell of running
Air conditioning.
paved water and corn dogs.
Nice.
You look in, and as you peer in, Belget, with your stone cunning and your mastery, your knowledge of stone, you do see some kind of fluorescent crystals lining the wall. These would be normal in this area, but it is quite dark. You're able to see, but you do know that some of your less gifted friends might struggle in there.
I look back and go, it's completely dark in here. If you can't tell for some reason. And step inside.
And the light only goes about 15 feet in before it kind of gets swallowed up by the darkness of the cave. Save for these, fluorescent crystals that are kind of hanging on the walls and jutting out from the cracks in the ground. So, Belget, you take a step in. Feel free.
How much light?
Oh, I
How
can't
much-
see.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
So, who here has trouble seeing in the dark? I know I can see pretty okay.
Can see
Uh,
just fine.
Sylvie, like I cannot see very well in the dark.
Quite all right. Stay close. We'll help guide you.
Sylvie, if you would like, I could. Do you have a torch or anything? If not, I could make your. I assume I can see that she has a staff or something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bigger than her.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I can make your staff glow a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to do much, but it would give you a little bit.
I
Just
prefer.
met her, Wilrick.
Well, after that moment with the lock, I need some release.
Well,
Sorry.
I do prefer to keep my hands free. If you could light up my staff, that would be very useful indeed.
Wilrick?
So I have magical tinkering that I can. Well, I guess the staff. Does the staff count as tiny for her?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So I need something smaller
Well,
than that.
It's in her hands.
Yeah.
I guess.
It would be small.
Yeah, I
don't
think it'd be
it's-
tiny. I think it'd be tiny.
Okay. I can do magical tinkering and maintain up to 3 objects, and it gives a 5-foot bright light and another 5 foot of dim light for her.
Okay.
It's not much, but enough to keep her from,
Yeah, we can even say that you grab like a piece of cloth and you wrap it around
Yeah.
the tip, and then you
Sure.
use like. Okay, so Sylvie, he's wrapped your tip, and it now gives 10 feet of dim light, and the closest to you is 5 feet of full light.
All I need.
Are
Thank
you
you.
guys heading in?
Yes.
Belgit,
Yep.
perception
I follow
check,
Belgit.
because you're the first one in.
Oh boy.
And I'm assuming as you come in, you're checking around you.
Yep, that's a 14.
14. As you walk in, immediately to your right, you notice kind of hidden away, tucked in the back of this cave, is a small hand-pulled cart with covered boxes kind of sitting back there. It doesn't look like it's gathered too much dust. And it looks just big enough to fit through the door if they really try. So.
I'm gonna approach the cart as they're kind of like trying to shuffle into the room.
Okay, as Belgit comes in, will the rest of you please enter in the...
I've got my great axe out and kind of like in my left hand as I'm like kind of using my right to like look at things.
Like how Mazzino had to wait to get in. He was in the back and people weren't moving. Excuse me, please. I can't seem to get past the...
I mean, he could just step over several of us.
Yeah, so you see there's about 3 separate boxes, crates. They're covered in a black rag. Doesn't look like it's of any reasonable material, linen, or it's just some shit that they found, and it was dark enough to cover the goods that they were smuggling. So assuming.
Well, let's see what they were smuggling.
You take your big burly dwarvish hand, and you slowly pull it up, expecting something. And I need you to do a dexterity check for me.
Oh no.
Check or saving throw? Check.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
18.
I'm sorry, not check. Saving throw.
Oh. Also 18.
Hey, that worked.
It's the same modifier.
You're able to notice just in time something kind of slithering underneath the rag as you pull it up, and a snake kind of comes out and strikes at you, and as it misses, it and
Oh.
falls down on the ground at your feet and starts slithering kind of away towards the door you guys just came in, towards Runa and Sylvie.
Smuggling snakes.
Did a snake come out of there? And so you thought they're smuggling snakes?
Well, I reached in and that's what I pulled out. So I don't know.
If I had a gold for every smart thing you said, I'd be poor.
Oh my god.
Now, he did identify those wonderful rocks outside. That was very impressive.
Runa and Sylvie, are you gonna react at all to the snake, or are you guys just gonna let it go? Is this?
Yeah, I'd like to jump out of the way, but I don't know if I have to.
Give me acrobatics.
I also jump out of the way.
Yeah, both of you can give me acrobatics then.
Yes,
No.
sir.
Ooh.
Where's my reroll?
A 3 and a 6. Oh, that's a critical
Hang on.
fail. No, you already used
Wait.
lucky.
I can
Oh.
use it whenever I roll one on an attack roll ability check or saving throw.
I think it's only.
But that's a
Doesn't say
skill.
that.
I think it's only
It's a
once
racial
per-
trait.
Is racial always?
I think it doesn't
Well,
say. Normally, it'll say if it's only once per.
Well, you said ability check, but not skill, right?
It's attack roll ability check or saving throw.
It's not one of those.
Yeah, this
It's
is
an
a,
ability
this is no, this is a skill check. Acrobatics is a skill.
Oh.
And I'm so happy you got a 1.
Yeah,
Hey,
give
our
me it.
first critical miss, our first critical fail of the game. And Runa did not do much better, getting a 3, also rolling a 1. Both of you see the snake coming at you, and
And they're making fun of me.
unknown to anyone else around you, both of you absolutely terrified of snakes. Just kind of one of those things, apparently. As Sylvie, you, even with your years of monk training and discipline, completely lose your cool. And as you try to jump, kind of your brain and the synapses that are firing don't reach your legs at the same time, and they both kind of jump at at different intervals, causing you to kind of just leap about 5 feet in the air with your great ability and then fall flat on your face
Nice.
in front of this snake as it just calmly slithers by you, ignoring you completely. At which point Runa sees what you've just done and figures that's what I'm supposed to do. She also jumps with all her might into the air and face plants straight on the ground in front of this snake as it calmly passes her by as well and then slithers out the door and into the sand. Both of you take 1 force damage for me.
Or
While
Ulrich?
it's going by, I would be able to see it pretty well. I like snakes, so I'd be curious what kind of snake it is. So I try to identify it.
Yeah, give me a nature check.
23, so I probably identify it.
It's a water snake. You know, one of those long
Neodia,
the black ones that, you know, kind of
harmless.
completely harmless. There's no danger in this. You assume it's in here probably because there might be water nearby.
You guys know that was just a water snake. It was probably more afraid of you than it, especially with what you guys just did.
Martial arts training does not involve snakes, Nina says, as she gets up and brushes her clothes off once again.
I'm gonna keep going through the boxes.
By the way, you kind of landed in a wet part of the ground there.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Wilrick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
To your surprise, Belgit, as you check these boxes, they're not filled with what you'd expect, which would be ill-gotten goods.
Snakes?
Or perhaps
Ill-gotten snakes.
or perhaps more snakes. Instead, these seem to be filled with like wood shavings. Well, one has just full with twigs, and then in the very back, one is filled with what seems to be charcoal. So these seem to just be supplies for starting a fire or a campfire out in the wilderness.
I don't know why they have it covered. It just seems to be a bunch of tinder and charcoal and stuff.
Wouldn't you want to keep tinder dry?
Maybe that's why they covered it. And had a snake guard it.
Well, if one of them is a druid, I think that makes sense. Wilrick, I'm worried.
Oh, me too.
Oh, the snake or the druids? He explained the snake wasn't that bad.
I'm worried in general right now. About everything.
So
Shall we
Okay.
press on?
Yes, we shall.
You guys sure you don't want to spend another couple hours in front of the cart?
So
Maybe.
Those of us who can see in the dark, we check and see ahead of what we can see.
Yeah. In front of you is as you guys push on. You were gonna say something though, Wilrick.
Oh, I was just going to say I have 60 feet of dark vision, so I think that I would probably be able to see this room
Yep.
pretty well. I look around to see if there's anything else of note.
Belgit has kind of pointed out the only thing of note that you can see again. It's not incredibly dark as there are these crystals on the wall that are shedding a bit of light, so that you're not completely in the darkness. But it just seems like a what you'd expect from a seaside cave. If you've ever been in one. If you haven't, there's a little pool of water in the back corner that seems to rise and kind of spill out and then fall with, intermittently with the tide or wherever it might be. The river tide, is that a thing? Sure, maybe. Who cares? But it slowly fills and kind of just sloshes over there on its own. There's a couple stalagmites in the way, but it's a trafficked area. There's nothing you need to inherently worry about, and you don't seem to notice any potential traps that you might see in a bandit lair.
Sure. Okay. So I guess moving on now that we've identified the snake guarding the tinder.
You guys step forward. Same marching order, correct?
Yeah. It's good by me. I think Sylvie might be a little bit far. Oh, there. Yeah. There.
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
Sylvie might be in the back with Runa now. That might make
We
more sense.
snakes upset us.
I'm good with being second.
I'll let you guys follow. I'll move Belgit for you, and you guys can just follow Belgit, in whatever order you'd like.
Right
Belgit,
now we're entering dark.
as you, all of you can see. So by the way, because she has the staff, you guys all have dark vision. You can all see in front of you. As you step forward, though, you do notice an opening, and out of this opening pours a little bit of light. So I'm going to say you do stop right before you're within sight of it. So let me kind of reveal this. The path does seem to go on a bit, but directly to your right is some like thrown together wood planks to make like a floor, and it kind of goes in a bit, and you do see light coming pouring out of that doorway that's open to your right, and ahead of you is what looks like an opening to the outside from the other side of the rocks. So where the river and the little eddy or pond that it's created meets this cave, the water's kind of pushing up in there, and you now can hear the waves kind of slowly jostling as this it's a very calm area, but the water is kind of ebbing and flowing in and out of the cave.
All right. I'm gonna step forward one more square, kind of to my south here, kind of like approaching the doorway.
Okay. Move forward. Immediately, you notice a gentleman kind of tending to a couple coffins in front of him. One is sealed up, and it looks like he's getting ready to seal the other one. And as he's doing that, he is going to... Are you being stealthy, do you think?
No.
Yeah. Okay. He he looks up and he notices you, and there's kind of this stare for about 2 seconds where he doesn't see anything. He just looks at you, holding, a hammer and a spike in one hand, and he looks at you for a second. And if you want to say anything to him to break the awkwardness, now would be the time.
Attending a funeral?
Jab! You hear him yell as he stands up and says, "What the hell are you doing here?" And you kind of hear some rustling, and now that you're able to see a little bit more, you do see that he definitely was not alone in this room.
Tracking bandits.
That's enough. Roll for initiative, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody roll for initiative.
$11.
11.
7.
I'm sorry, what'd you get? So we got 7 for Wilbur.
Mm-hmm.
Belgit?
8.
8. Sylvie?
11.
Bareth?
3.
3. And Runa?
So 11.
All right, let's see if this works. I did have something for this. Hey! It works! Awesome. Okay. Cool. All right. First up is Runa and Sylvie. In fact, all of you except for Bareth got the jump on them. So I'm going to allow you guys to go in any order you wish.
Category? Can I,
Are these characters
So-
considered hostile towards us at this point?
Absolutely. They all draw their weapons. And they are
Just checking.
The one next to the one next to Coffin,
talk.
the one next to Coffin has dropped the nail that he was going to be driving the coffin in with, and has picked up a shield on the ground. Down the way, there are 2 more gentlemen. One by sitting at a bar and has now stood up and pulled out his sword, and the other one behind the bar that has reached beneath and pulled out a large crossbow.
Okay.
All right.
okay, I'm gonna run in there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you guys
Go
can go in any
first.
order you want because the 4 of you are right there. You all have the same block with no interruptions. So any of you can go in any order. So you guys can choose now the order, or you can go by initiative.
I have short, stubby little legs, so I'd like to go first.
Sylvia, you good with that?
Yeah,
He's in the front. Okay.
go
Belgit,
for it.
kick us off,
5,
baby. What are you doing?
10, 15, 20, 25 for my move, and attack this guy who was...
As you rush towards him, he says as you're coming, and he braces himself. He's like, "You have no idea what you've come into, mate." And he kind of gets ready for your attack.
That's fine. I tend to work best when I don't know what's going on. All right, with my great axe, it is a 15.
15 hits.
All
Roll
right.
damage.
14 points of damage.
Oh, is that max damage?
One off.
One off of max damage. Describe your attack for me, please.
I run up, and as he's talking to me, he's kind of trying to ready a block, and I just completely just two-handed swing right around it, just bury it in him in right about here.
As you cleave into his shoulder with your great axe, you find that either he hasn't eaten much recently, or you're a lot stronger than you think, because it continues all the way down, and you get a huge chunk as it just bisects him, and he doesn't even have time to react as his head goes one way and his body goes another, and he falls to the ground dead.
And I look in battle adrenaline at the other two people in the room, and that's my turn.
A very good intro to the campaign. Good lord, what a first kill.
Good kill.
Seeing that happen, and as he gives out a mighty as he, fluid quickly fills and then exits through the hole that you made, his lungs, you hear one of them go, "Boss, we need ya!" Who's next, Sylvie or Runa? Or Wilbur?
I think Runa started moving.
It looks like
so-
Runa's running
Yeah,
in, so sure.
Yeah, Runa follows Beljet to the room and takes a little crouching stance behind basket here. I have a question.
Caskets are normally as
You know,
a
they're
little
only
bit
like
wider
I'm just
than a
wedging.
human who's laying on the ground. And
Understand.
you're like a 6 foot
Wanted to be in a
elf.
little corner.
Okay.
Wanted to be in the corner.
Okay.
Question about before I do something. For minor illusion, is that cast on one person, or is that anyone can see it?
Anyone can see this illusion.
Runa doesn't bother to sit by the casket.
You all watch Runa run over to the casket, stop, think for a second, and then move away from the dead body she was standing next to.
Congratulating Beljet. Great strike, buddy.
I can't wait to see yours.
Runa, takes a piercing look down at one of the closer of the two
The man on the bar stool?
bandits. Yeah, the man on the bar stool.
This one? Yeah.
And looking at him, she says, "He's on a bar stool?"
He was sitting. He stood up.
Oh, okay. She says, "You're a little late to help your friend there." As she casts Mind Sliver.
A piercing pain strikes into the bandit's head as he hears sounds that he can't even fathom kind of strike into the back of his brain. And that's a 13 int check, right?
Don't know. Yes.
It's a save, but yeah.
But luckily, he's so focused on battle that nothing seems to happen. He kind of just turns his head to look as if something was there, and there's nothing, and then he focuses his direction back on you. So nothing happens. That's your movement and action. Sylvie, you're up.
Yeah. Okay. So Sylvia is going to run forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet. What is this wooden thing in front of me?
It's like an overturned, I don't want to say coffee table. You know those little tables that kind of just display something on the side of the wall. I don't know what to call that. Display table.
Like a
Display
console
table.
table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Console. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a vase or something on it.
Yeah, but it's one of the legs has snapped off and it's been broken for who knows how long. There's cobwebs on it and shit.
Could I kind of take cover behind that?
You're a bit too far. You'd have to go another 5 feet to get behind it.
I don't believe I have a way to make another 5 feet happen. So I guess I'm just there. And I will chuck a dart at the fellow closest to me.
Brandishing a dart out from under your monkish garments.
Yes.
You ready to throw, and
a 13.
Are you doing this through D&D Beyond?
I am on D&D Beyond, yes.
And did you click the thing?
I see it in roll 20.
I rolled a
Yeah,
13.
you have it connected to roll
It should
20.
be in both.
Yeah, it doesn't do that. If you're connected to roll 20, it's only sends it to roll 20.
You want it turned off?
Yeah, if you can do that. Fuck roll 20, on God, right? Right, chat?
Yeah, I paid money for dice and D&D Beyond.
Man, fuck roll 20. I roll
I have
30.
a problem.
Should I roll again?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm sorry. What'd you roll? Just tell me what you rolled. It's fine.
I rolled the same thing. It's a 13.
13. It still isn't showing up, so
That is weird.
I don't know why that is.
Reloading my page.
Yeah,
Would
try
you like me
that.
to roll again?
Just to see if it works, just keep trying to fix it. But 13 does hit.
Oh, I see it now.
Yay,
Yeah.
yay, she did it. 19 now.
Even better.
Is it a 19? Is it a 19 hit?
Yes, roll damage.
Okay. Ooh. That's max damage.
Ooh. Beautiful as you fling the dart
Piercing damage.
and it sails straight into the chest of this bandit. You see him look down and then look up, and the halfling he didn't even know was there is now has her arm outstretched, and he is impaled with a dart. And he does not seem to be in good shape after that one. Wilrick, bring it on home, baby.
All right, so they're currently here. I move 20 of my movement here, or 15 of it. 1, 2, 3. So I can see the two of them down there, right? Down at the bottom, and I would be able to see this room pretty clearly. It's pretty dark here, but as far as I see, there's no one else in this room.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to.
I hate to mention this, but it
go
is
ahead.
something we talked about earlier. Whereas Sylvie and Belgit really don't have any problem murdering
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
This is somewhat new for you, so I just want to remind you of that, because we did talk about it, but it was like a week ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so continue, please.
So, I'm going to ready a my acid splash, and if any of the bandits come within range of like start moving towards us,
Yeah.
I will cast it as a reaction. But and then I'm going to say stop, yell stop to the bandits.
Doesn't sound like a gnome voice to me.
Oh, good point. Stop! Don't move.
Is that in your turn?
Yes. So I'm readied, and if any of them start moving towards, then I'll release.
The one. Go on.
As we end that turn, I want to look at Runa and go, that was really cool with the dart. Should we get you some of those?
As you yell,
I don't need any darts.
as you yell, stop!
I feel like you do.
At the bandit, now sitting with a dart in his chest, holding some shitty short sword. He looks at you and says, "Stop! She fucking impaled me!" And he's gonna like lunge forward and run at specifically you. Now that you've called out to him, so go ahead and cast Acid Splash, or is that a save? Or on me.
It's a 13 dex save.
30 dex save. Okay, let's see how this goes. Hey! Well, went well for him as you launch a blast of acid towards him, your seeming specialty at this point. He kind of dodges out of the way just barely as it starts melting the chair behind him and sprints towards you, and he's going to take a swing at you with his sword. His sword.
Easy for you to say.
14?
17.
Ooh.
Thinking you're just some, weak and meek wizard, he swings straight at you with his sword as it ching, clanks on the armor hiding beneath your robes and accoutrement, and he just stares at you with wide eyes, not expecting a gnome to be that sturdy. And once more he yells, "We're really gonna need you, boss!" At which point his friend will walk up, take cover behind the bar. So he's gonna be sitting there with half cover, just so you know. And he's gonna say, "Get out of the damn way!" And he's gonna fire a crossbow straight at you again, Wilrick.
You need any cover for that?
But
Uh-oh.
he's gonna miss by quite a margin. In fact, so much so that he's actually gonna hit his friend in front of you. And you look down. Oh my god. As the dart, still impaled in the man in front of you, pops out and was replaced by a crossbow bolt. And he kind of turns and goes, "Wait, what?" And then falls over dead. What a wonderful day for the bandits, truly.
I have that effect on people.
You did not need to muddy your hands at all there, Wilrick. Good fucking god. You kind of hear some clattering as coming around the corner you see another person kind of run in, and you guys can kind of see this, I think, so I'm gonna let you view a little bit of this. You see there is some sort of bridge that's just on the other side, and Sylvie, you can get the best view of this. There is a bridge over there, and there is a bandit who is now running into the room, and he's going to use his turn to run as hard as he can in here, and he's going to notice the two men dead on the ground and go, "Steve! Bob!" At which point another is also going to run in and go, "Bob! Steve!" And Bareth, it is your turn.
Oh, wow. So much has happened. Let's see. I will start by moving into the room. So surveying the situation, I see these two guys in the middle of the room and another guy poking out from behind a bar, I assume.
Yes.
What do the two guys that ran out seem to be armed with, if I could ask?
They both have a pair of what seems to be blades in their hands. The exact nature of these are, they could be short swords, scimitars, daggers. It's hard to see from the range you're at, but they're definitely sharp.
Got it. Okay. Sharp things in hands. Got it. I will unwrap the bandages covering my fingers and reach out my hand towards the brave gentleman hiding behind the bar and twist as I point at him and whisper the word Wisto as I cast Dissonant Whispers.
You hear a voice kind of chuckle in your ear and go, "Hey, yes!" And that same voice kind of reverberates through the room and straight into the ears of the man hiding behind the counter. Is that a check I have to make?
It is a check that you make, yes. Wisdom DC 12.
He tries his hardest to ignore the whispers that are currently sound like they're shouting and banging, and almost like a full band is playing directly into his eardrums. But he just can't seem to shake it and do damage as Dissonant Whispers hits. Unfortunately, he is deaf in one ear, so it doesn't do a lot of damage. But you do notice his ears start to bleed as he like rubs them and goes, "Ah!" And he does take 5 points of damage. Still creepy.
Very creepy.
Still
Very evil.
Still creepy. I am now going to tell this to you as a DM. Going to teach you guys a lesson that you do need to learn, okay? I apologize for this. As another bandit is going to run, see your party over there in the corner. Notice that we got a raid on our channel, which is very nice, by Blue Cottage D&D, and you guys should all say thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for that. I don't want to interrupt combat too much. And this guy, instead of pulling out his crossbow as you would expect, is going to put it to the side and reach into his pocket and pull out a flask of what looks like liquid fire. And then he's going to chuck it at your group. So let me do a quick measure. It's going to hit all of you, and the person on the ground.
Yay.
He's going to throw it, and you all are going to do dex saves. And while you're doing dex saves, I'm going to say a big thank you to everyone for coming in for the raid. Thank you very much, Blue Cottage D&D. That's super kind of you. Welcome, guys. Happy to have you. We're doing our first session of our campaign, and I'm teaching my my players about grouping really quickly. Now, sometimes that's not a good thing. Although, holy shit.
Natty 20.
Yeah, guys, get the fuck away from me.
Also, in my defense, I entered the room first.
We don't need to worry about it.
All
And
right.
in my defense,
Come on,
I had the
mate.
furthest to go.
So
made fun of me
all
for
of you
where I
do
went in the room
succeed
first.
except for Runa.
Except me.
So you will take half damage at the very least. Runa, you'll take 4 points of fire damage. Everyone else will take half damage, and the area on the ground is going to be hold on, let me try to do this properly. Nope. That area is now covered in fire. Okay. So you probably don't want to start your turn on it or near it.
So we take 2.
Yes, everyone who succeeded 2, everyone who didn't succeed 4. As this flask of fire hits the ground and spreads all around you guys, most of it blasts straight towards Runa as she just gets covered in flames and kind of falls back a little bit.
Not my clothes. Not
And then
again.
the guy who threw it says, turns to his left, and you can't really see who he's talking to. And he goes, "Boss, we got five of them, 5 intruders." And do I do it to you twice? 1, 2, 3. He's guy's gonna dash and take cover behind the bar as well, and kind of peek out. He didn't have that much time to, he did spend his turn sprinting over there, so he's not gonna have a lot of time to fire. But you did see another one run in and hide behind the counter through the flames and the chaos that just happened at you. And then you hear footsteps heavier than the rest of the people you've been fighting. But you don't quite see who it is yet. Thank you very much, Blue Cottage D&D, by the way. Very kind of you for that raid. We're a brand new channel, but it's very happy to have you guys. I don't want to interrupt combat too much, but thank you guys very much. Okay, and welcome, guys. We're back to the top of the order. So, Belgit.
All right, Belgit is gonna move 20 feet to there.
I'm sorry, you started your turn in fire. Take 2 fire damage.
All right.
And then run.
So I'm gonna move to there, and I'm gonna swing at this guy. $14 hit.
That hits. Good swing.
All right.
You run past one of the bandits who have just recently entered the room, noticing their dead friend Jim and Bob. Their corpse is now on fire. You kind of run past him, and he's not really paying much attention. And by the time he turns around, you've already swung, and you
7 points.
catch him straight in the hip as you kind of bring his whole body out from underneath him, and a mighty swing as after he falls down to the ground, having hit him, he does not get back up, and he is dead.
It's a bit harder fighting real adventurers rather than commoners, isn't it, bandits?
Runa,
You tell him.
you're up.
Okay. Well, Runa.
Runa's gonna take.
fire
Runa's gonna take 2 damage as well from fire.
Okay. How do I take specific fire damage? I'm sorry.
Fire damage, it doesn't.
damage?
It's still damage, unless you're for some
Okay, well,
reason
then I'm at-
resistant to fire damage, which you aren't.
Well, then I'm at 0 because I took 4 and now I took 2 more.
You're dead.
I have 0 hit points left. I think. Am I
You
doing
have,
it right?
Wait, do you have 6 health max?
7.
Okay,
I took
one
one
damage from the
earlier
snake.
from the snake.
Runa, I'm gonna let you, as a last ditch before you do burn to death, jump out of the
Okay.
fire, but you're still gonna be knocked down and unconscious. So I'll put you there, being
Okay.
nice, and you are unconscious, Runa.
Okay.
You're gonna start your death saving throws, okay? So nothing now, but that's gonna happen. On to Sylvie. 2 damage and
Alright.
get the stepping.
2 damage, and I am running out of this fire.
Really
I
gets
am
to
gonna
do
run
this.
right over. And I'm gonna run right here, and I'm gonna use my staff and whack at this guy just south of me.
This guy right here, okay? Give him the business.
Yeah. I'm gonna try.
That is
About
the
24 to
business.
hit.
That is the business. That does hit.
Now, I have a question for you real quick. With using my quarterstaff, it is versatile. If I intend to do an unarmed strike as my bonus action, if I need to, should I use it with the 1d6 or the 1d8?
So, since it's versatile,
So a d6 would imply I'm using one hand to use my staff, and a d8 would imply that I'm using 2 hands.
I'll have to look into that more later. But
Okay,
for
what do you want me to do
now,
right now?
I'm gonna say let's come to the conclusion that it would not take you 6 seconds to move one hand back and then punch after holding a staff. So
Right.
you can use
I agree.
two-handed damage, and then you can do a unhanded or
Unarmed.
punch.
All right, deal. How about 8
Ooh.
damage?
With a crack, you do swing your staff. You being 2'8", this being a human bandit standing about 6'1", you do crack him straight on the nose as you see it. You hear it. You see it shatter the front of his face. Blood comes flying out as he reels backwards, and barely still standing. He's completely dazed in front of you.
I'm just gonna give him one good whack with my hand, just a backhand,
All right, roll to hit.
and 15 to hit.
15 hits.
All right, great. Let's call that 6 additional
Oh,
6.
bludgeoning damage. Yes.
Woo! How do you do it?
So I'm up at his face, right? I jumped up and I got him in the face with the staff. So I'm just gonna backhand him right, knock right at the bone of his nose, and just knock him right there.
After completely shattering his nose and destroying the cartilage that was in it, as he stands there dazed, you then jump up for a second hit, going for the nose again, blasting him as the rest of his face kind of caves in and he topples like a log in front of you to the ground, dead. The guy behind the bar, seeing his two friends die, goes, "Phil! Jill!" One of them was
wait,
named
which
Jill.
one was Jill?
They're progressive. They don't believe in gender norms when it comes to naming down here.
With him being dead, can I run a little bit further and just go hide under that stool at the bar?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great. So
I'll let you hide behind it, but not under it, as
Okay.
it's only like 3 feet off the ground, and you're 2'8". I mean, there's not a lot.
I mean, I'm shorter than it, but
With the stuff that is there behind it, yes, for half cover, not
I got
not
you.
anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wilrick, crazy stuff happening. You're up, buddy. And you're taking 2 damage because you're in fire.
Ow!
Oh no!
Oh no!
You do it like that, it sounds like Mr. Bill.
So, Wilrick hurries back. I don't know if I should be in the same square next, but I help Runa.
Okay. So she gets advantage on her,
Yeah,
advantage on her death saving
on
throw.
her next, death
Yep.
saving throw.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's
You want
it.
to say something to her as you cradle her charred and her clothes, by the way, ruined, completely ruined.
Why do you step in
Again.
everything? Why do you step in everything?
I react to Sylvie's martial arts with a beautiful display. Did you see that, Runa? Runa!
Holy shit. The guy behind the counter is gonna peek back up, not noticing the Ghostwife halfling that is currently so short below the bar he can't see her. But he is going to take aim at the large dwarf that just rended 2 of his friends asunder. And he's going to point at you and say, "Take this, you damn rock sniffer!" Which you feel was definitely meant in a racial way. 17 to hit.
How rude.
That does hit.
Ooh. 4 damage as a bolt pierces out and strikes your armor, barely piercing through, but still piercing flesh. And Barrett, you're up.
I'm looking a little wobbly.
Barrett?
Same.
You're
Think
muted.
you're
Does he
muted.
know he's muted?
Mayhaps.
Wilrick probably hears Bareth mutter, 9 hells.
2 damage, by the way, Bareth, for starting your turn of fire. Sorry.
I will take what I'm supposed to. Taking a step. Taking a step into the fire.
Okay.
He sort of spreads his hands out and says, he says,
Sorry.
and he says, Thamor. And he's going to use thaumaturgy.
Okay.
To cause the flames that he's standing in to start burning green, and we'll attempt an intimidation check.
Okay.
If that is a thing I can
Yeah, I'll let you intimidate everyone who can see you right now, which are 3 separate people, the 2 behind the bar and the one on the bridge.
All right.
Yeah, roll intimidation.
Sure.
Oh boy.
As the bandits see you step forward and say your creepy words and do your creepy spell, and as the flames turn green, one of them kind of looks at the other one and says, well, now he's just burning in a different color. And they all start laughing. Would you like to end your turn in the fire, or would you like to get out of it?
In with me.
I will move out of.
Right. And you choose to step on top of one of the dead bandits, kind of kicking the fire off, the residual fire off your shoes onto his coat.
There's a comfy hole in his chest.
Is that the end of your turn?
That's it. It costs an action for me to do that.
Surprise turn. Frederick, if you can hear me, do me a favor and roll a strength check. Good check.
That wasn't it.
Trell,
Very intimidating strength check.
Trell, if you can hear me, you could roll strength or dexterity.
An intro.
Do me a favor, Trell and Frederick, you can place your pieces in this top room here. This is done on roll 20. Trell, as you kind of struggle in your bindings, you notice that your stalwart companion over there is not doing the best out of getting out of his ropes, but you are, as you very dexterously are able to wiggle one of your hands free and then get the other one, then you're able to start untying and for your action, you're able to completely get out of your ropes. Do me a favor and roll initiative, Trell.
Oh.
And Trell, please introduce yourself.
So as I'm shedding my ropes that were binding my arms, I am extremely stout for a human, actually shorter than our dwarf. So I'm just shy of 4 feet or 5 feet tall. Trell is in her early 40s, has sun-freckled skin, dark eyes, and a head of very curly, very short auburn hair. And I think I'm muted. No, I'm not. Okay.
You're not.
Excellent. Normally, I would have with me a plain staff as well as a small shield. I'm assuming they did not let me keep that here.
You do see, doing a quick with your passive perception, right behind you is a chest, and all your stuff is in there. They kind of took it
Nice.
off that, and they threw it in there.
Nice, awesome. And I am dressed in very earthy colored clothes. It looks almost like work clothes that I've repurposed into a sort of traveler's garb. Though around my shoulder there's my shoulders there's a fine red silk scarf, like a cowl, that drapes down at the back. Looks like it was once artisan made, but it's seen some better days. It looks like it's got kind of tatters along the bottom. There's a little bit of moss creeping up where it may have dragged across the ground.
Wonderful. Trell, your action has been to get yourself free. Would you like to make a movement?
Yes, I am just going to move over to Frederick, though,
Okay.
to try and free him the next round if he is still struggling a little bit.
And when you walk over to this large human in the corner, Frederick, please introduce yourself.
My name is Frederick. I am a medium to larger built human, about 6'1", well fed. I am wearing chainmail armor. Not too bright, if I will be honest. Very durable. Very durable. And let me just say this now. I'm wrapped in chains, not rope. So that's why I could not get out.
It's actually just braided rope, but he sees the links and he's like, brown chains. So as Frederick kind of wiggles and you see he's struggling, the problem is he's not trying to push out Trell. You can see he's just pushing forward. Not the not the brightest bulb on the tree. And you two have entered the battle. Do me a favor and roll initiative, please. Frederick.
Uh, 10.
Wonderful. Okay. So as that happens, our friend here on the bridge is going to take a few steps forward. Notice the large dwarf who's hiding around the corner, and then run forward to stab him with a scimitar. 21.
Yeah, that's yep. That will do it.
Sorry, my rolls are really good. 3 damage though.
I am just barely standing.
Ooh! His scimitar goes straight through your armor, right near the base of your abdomen, and luckily just cleaves a chunk out of the side of your hip and manages to miss most vital organs. But ooh, Belgit, you are barely standing. And then Sylvie, you see and hear, both you and Belgit, wood kind of as it creaks and bends under the large feet of a gigantic man who comes barreling through, runs past Belgit completely and straight towards the half-elf hiding behind the chair. He is going to make a how do I want to do this? We'll call it a melee attack. He's going to make a melee attack by grabbing the chair over his head and swinging it down on you as hard as he can. 15 to hit.
That does not hit.
Ooh. He swings it down with a fury and a mighty as it hits the ground. It cracks, shatters in two, and you now see him holding two halves of a chair as he readies himself for battle with you. He's going to make a second attack at you.
Oh, no.
Another swing as you deftly move out of the way at last second. You're just too agile for him as he swings straight over your head and misses. The archer behind the corner of the bar is going to eke out on the other side, aim towards the man who just set himself on green fire, and he is going to fire a crossbow at you, Bareth. That was almost an 8, but it ended up being a 19.
Oh.
I'm guessing that
How
hits.
much damage?
6.
One last turn. I am still standing.
Ooh. Wow.
6 damage
Only
as the
because I have resistance to fire.
Yeah.
6 damage as the crossbow kind of boom straight into your chest, right above, right below the clavicle. Actually, that like soft piece of flesh that's right there. Everyone, touch your clavicle really quickly. Yeah, see how it's kind of soft there. Boy, did it go in, and it's still kind of sitting there, but too proud or maybe too dumb to bow out. You remain standing, ready to bring on or to take on anything else that might come your way. That bandit just saw 2 people take a full crossbow and sword to the chest and stay standing. And he's gonna be like, "They're touched! Magic, I swear it!" And back to the top, Belgit.
All right. Belgit is just barely standing with his wounds. He is going to spend his bonus action using his and regaining his second wind. I get to roll a d10 plus 1 and get that amount of hit points back.
Okay, let's hope it's something good.
Let's.
Hey!
6 plus 1, 7. I'll take it.
7 health. Brushing himself off and slamming his chest, Belgit. So all of a sudden looks like he's completely ready for battle once again.
As I swing at the guy who just stabbed me in front of me.
He is terrified. As a second ago you were an inch from death, and now it seems like you can go all damn night. Roll to hit with your great axe.
That's a 22 to hit.
Ooh, and that does hit as you bring it straight down.
11
Oh my
points of
God.
damage.
As you bring it straight down, and tell me how he dies, Belgit, in a beautiful way.
I go and I'm starting my swing routine as normal. And I mean, this might have been a decent hit, but him seeing me get revitalized, he kind of like flinches in fear. And I end up catching him a lot better than if he had actually tried to like roll with it and just catch him right in about the neck.
Once again, cleaving another man, head, shoulder, from body, straight through the scraps that they call leather armor, not doing a damn thing except for slowing you down slightly as you bisect another man in front of everyone else. And I'm actually going to have them all run a wisdom check to see, because that's 3 people cut down in front of these 2 archers. So let me let me run that very quickly. Both of them absolutely terrified and cowering of you. A beautiful move there, Belgit. Runa, are you dying?
Oh, 1 second. So mechanically, like, what does that mean? They're gonna run, or they're just gonna take
They
penalties?
can't attack you, and they can't move towards you. Yeah.
All right.
Frightened.
I'm gonna take
They're
my movement.
frightened. Okay.
I'm gonna take my movement. I'm gonna move here, here, here.
Beautiful. Beautiful. As these two are cowering behind the bar, you run forward, stepping over their dead friend that you just cut in half, and they go, Bob 2, no! And now you are, they are terrified to be in your presence. Runa, are you dead?
Runa croaks from her semi-conscious state. I forgot I have strength of the grave. Does that mean anything?
It does. It does mean something. You're not dead.
I'm not dead.
That
I'm
I
not
wish we
dead
knew
yet.
that.
I forgot.
Wilrick didn't know that, but somehow, Wilrick, your powers of medicine must be stronger than you know. Because when you ran over to help Runa up after she burned to death, she just got back up. Runa, you're
Funny
up.
how that works.
You're at 1 health, but you're up.
Awesome. I lost track of who's alive. Okay. Oh. Croaking from her fiery. No. No. I'm so sorry. I got distracted looking that up and seeing if it was.
It's okay.
I could do.
Take a second. I'll let Wilrick go first, okay?
Okay, sounds
All right,
good.
Wilrick, your go.
In terms of movement, is it possible to move here with avoiding the fire?
Yeah. I'll say you avoid it.
Okay. Yeah. So I could do like one. So I now know that she's okay, right?
Yeah.
Or at least up.
She gets up. she's
Yeah.
dazed and barely there, but
Sure.
she's there.
Miracle.
So I have a question, or yeah, I'll move there. Can I?
You can move around.
What
Mizuno.
about down?
Yeah. You can move through. You can move through his space. You're good.
So
You're good.
so I'll move to there.
Okay.
Okay. And I will focus on that looks like a little campfire with some stones around it, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's a little brazier of fire.
Yeah. So I point to one of the stones around there, like make a scooping motion with my hand, and it begins to lift, and then I fling my fingers forward, and that stone goes flying towards the large guy.
Absolutely.
The casting catapult.
Is that a dex save, I believe?
Let me check. Yeah, 13 dex save for him, and I do nothing other than make those gestures.
He is so busy staring at this halfling that he doesn't notice the flaming rock, the flaming bit of charcoal and charred stone come flying at him, and it does connect. 2 damage.
Does it make that cat?
Hits him for
Holy
19 damage.
shit. You fling with full force this flaming pile of rock. I'll also let you roll a d4 for additional fire damage because it was on fire. This flaming rock goes flying across the room, soaring over the dead bodies as it cracks this guy straight in the back of his head. He's a big guy, but dear God, you see him just full force, boom, hit the table next to him, the bar that's right next to him. And it does 1 extra damage of fire. And he is dazed and confused and kind of looking around to see what the hell just hit him. Good turn.
All right. and I yell, "Everyone, stop fighting! We can talk."
Beamed him in the back of the head. He launched a rock as if it was a fucking bullet at him. Wait, boom, wait, we can talk. Hold on.
I'd like to think there's like a catapult noise at the same time because I'm looking at the archers and I just hear that and like feel the force of it and the blood like spray out and I'm like, the fuck was that?
Yeah, as it hits his head, it just shatters and explodes. You know, it looks like almost like a firework going off directly in front of you. Good
Who
turn.
did that?
Runa.
And I'm done.
Okay. Inspired by Ulrich's
Rise for
call to
peace.
stop fighting. First of all, Runo's gonna run and take some cover behind this thing.
Runa's gonna die in about
right
2
here.
seconds if she does that.
She's gonna die if she takes cover.
It's burning.
Wait, this here? This is burning?
The giant orange circle of fire, it is burning, yeah.
I thought you said we could run through it.
No, I let him run around the edge and try to avoid the fire because it's not fully in those.
Oh,
But if you go, Runa gets up, I'm alive, runs into the fire, determined to die.
She died like she lived, on fire.
on fire. Okay, well, then I have to think. Okay.
If you want to get there, you can get there. Yeah, you can get there. You just go around the fire.
Okay. Runa runs around the fire and not through it. She may not have a lot of real-world experience, but she knows not to purposefully step in fire.
Fire bad.
Inspired by her friend Wilric's calls for peace, Runa focuses on the two gentlemen over here. She can do that. And grabbing, at her tattered and burned clothes, she holds on, clutching her clothes together, trying to keep them up, and by doing so, this minor illusion to this general area.
What are you trying to
both of these
illusion?
men. The illusion, suddenly everyone hears the voices of Sam and Bob, friends, beyond the grave, pleading with them to stop fighting.
Okay.
Over and over and over again, relentlessly.
What's your? This is hard. Give me an intimidation check.
Okay. A check?
Yeah, a check.
Yeah, 1 second. Oh, we're thinking. The stuff on the top.
Intimidation is going to be right in the middle of your screen.
That's intelligence.
This
Skill?
Yeah, you found it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
The two men behind the counter, quivering in fear of the dwarf standing in front of them, now hear, "Oi, mate, death sucks. It's nothing but blackness down here." Then you hear another one that goes, "I wish I didn't die." And they're both gonna try to make wisdom saves. Oh, wrong person. Sorry. My bad. Let's try that again. Don't count that. Not that it matters. But one of them just immediately drops his crossbow and says, I'm done. Too much shit here. Way too much happening today. Where the other one just kind of grabs his head in his hands and just falls over catatonic in the fetal position. Both of them no longer wanting anything to do with this. Their boss, seeing this, looks at them and grunts and goes, "Weak! Come on, I'll fight to the last man!" As you see, he's got probably a minor concussion, and the back of his head is bleeding. Good turn, Runa. We
It's a
go on
bonus action,
over
though.
to. That would be a
Yeah,
full thing.
may
That would be a full thing.
Well, I just wanted to thank Ulrich.
You can thank Wilrick. Wilrick, you are
Ulrich.
thanked. We're gonna go over to Trell.
I am desperately trying to get Frederick out of these binds. I'm like, no, come on, buddy, you gotta work with me here. Come on. And could I make a dex check to help get him out?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep. You are deft with your
Cool.
hands.
All
Knots
right. So,
untie, and Frederick, you are free of
Good to
those
stretch.
hempen chains that bind you.
so how much of this battle can we hear from here?
You hear shouts, fire, eldritch whispers,
People's
bodies,
names.
screams. You heard Bob about 3 or 4 times.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my my staff and my shield, and well, I can't make a dash because I assume that counts as an action.
Yeah, you did an action to help.
Yeah, so I'll just move my 30 feet.
Okay.
10, that's 20, and then that's
Yeah,
darkness ahead
let me
of
show you.
I like to technically, by the rules, she's shorter than me, but she has 5 more feet of movement speed.
You are going to notice something
Oh,
immediately with the correct perception, Trell. So do me a favor and give me a perception check.
Come on, dice. Hey, I weighted my dice.
These bandits were in the middle of combat when you guys came in. And in fact, they've barricaded a full section of their base that's now blocked off with sandbags and wooden spikes kind of falling out. And you do see that there seems to have been some bloodshed in battle recently. And this, you guys were unconscious for a while, but there's still weapons and blood on the ground over here. They seem to have been fighting something, and you can see in the corner they did seem to put up some rubble and stones on the side of this wall, but there does seem to be vines kind of creeping through at the moment.
Interesting. But I could probably tell that these screams were coming from a little bit beyond.
Yes, that wasn't where it was happening. You're surprised to see what you're seeing.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of pause just a second to take it in and be like, what the hell is? Oh crap, something's going on, and I'm gonna finish the rest of my movement.
Okay. Frederick.
Okay. So I'm going to first off backtrack. Here, do I know? Is my gear still in this
You can
chest?
see all of your gear in the other chest. Yeah, all your stuff is
Okay.
right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab all my stuff back: my longsword, my shield, all my knickknacks.
I'll let you fully equip that as an action.
Okay, and then I will continue my movement to follow Trell. 5.
All right. Good turn. As you come in, and you see, and you kind of look at Trell, and you look at the wall, and you see the vines kind of creeping through. You have half a second to be like, huh? What? Wait. And as you kind of get your bearings, the wall in front of you just falls over, and there's a big crash as stone comes kind of creeping out of it. And now, listen, just everyone here, okay? Roll20 wants me to pay fucking like $15 for PNGs or some shit. I'm not gonna do that. I haven't figured out how to add tokens or anything yet. I'll figure that out eventually. So right now, I know these look like ropers, and these look like bird people. They're not ropers, they're not bird people. Don't make fun of me. All right. Spilling out of the wall comes, almost looks like 2 chunks of a rotted log with these wood-like spider legs creeping out of them, and they're kind of like walking towards you, almost as if they were like head crabs from Half-Life. Both of them kind of creep over this, and they both look at you, and they kind of like you hear it like rattle, the wood rattle, almost as if it was a threatening maraca.
Does it look and sound like something I killed once?
It has a similar feel to that, but you definitely do recognize as a mass of undulating and swirling vine kind of fall through the gap in the wall now and look at you and look in the broadest term, as what you're seeing doesn't seem to have eyes or a nose or any sort of face, but it does have the appearance of a humanoid, and this massing creature is going to kind of trip over the sandbags, and you do recognize this, both of you, as the creature you fought in the woods before the bandits took you. And then you're also going to recognize a very familiar gesture as this creature is going to point up with its arm, and it's going to kind of fill, and almost like a snake trying to eat a rat, right? This is like this big mass falls through its arm, and you're going to see needles start to point out, and it's going to fire a barrage of needles at you, Trell. Oh, it was almost... almost a 19. You know what this is about to be, and as it fires, you dodge out of the way, and luckily it misses Frederick right behind you as it makes like an outline around him of needles just flying around behind them. Then in the other room, which you guys can only hear, but the rest of you can see, this big gruff man, now holding two halves of a broken stool, is going to make two more swings at the annoying halfling sitting in front of him. This is going to be a 9. 7. He's really concussed, guys. Head injuries are no joke. All right. Both swing just wildly, nowhere even near you. The most you feel is a light breeze as these things come sailing past you. And he kind of looks at you and goes, "Stop moving so much!" as you're completely still.
No.
Then some things you can't see are gonna happen. Don't worry about that. And then something you can see is gonna happen as this guy enters the room, and that's all he's gonna do. And wonderful. And then we're back to Belgit, but right before your turn, Belgit, dungeon draft is used to dungeons, Nigel. Right before your turn, Belgit, one of these bandits is gonna look up at you, the one that was cowering completely in fear and saying, I'm done. He's going, why? Hear me out!
I'm listening.
He says, you might want to cut me up into pieces, but trust me, we've got bigger things on the horizon.
A tempting offer, but what do you suggest?
Plants! Fucking wicked plants coming through the wall in the other room. I swears it.
I hate plants.
That's a weird thing to hate. But who am I to argue? It is now your turn, Belgian. the other one behind the bar is just he's fetal and rocking back and forth. He's gone. He's done.
I turn away from these two, kind of content with that, and look at the big piece of meat next to me, and say, "You're gonna fight us to the last man. You are the last man, mate." And I'm gonna swing.
Okay.
23.
That hits.
8 points.
Ooh. Belgian, have mercy. Have mercy. He's not paying any attention as your axe just cuts straight into his armor and puts a big oozing gash into the right side of his chest, and he goes, "Oh, fight fair!" He's not doing well. Anything else you want to do?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Sylvie.
My turn.
How did it go?
Hmm?
Do I get to go or no? Or do we switch?
I thought, yeah, we had Sylvie in front of you.
Oh! I want one last thing in my turn if I can.
That's fine.
Yes.
I look at the bandit who's not currently in a fetal position, crying on the ground, and go, "Do you have any more of that alchemist fire?"
He goes, kind of shaking his head. I think he used his, the only one he had on him.
Nah, fair enough. I'll check on, what's his name?
Who?
I point at the guy peeing himself on the floor.
Oh, that's Bob 3.
Oh, Bob the Third or just Bob 3?
Well, we had 3 Bobs join. This is. Can we do this when we're not being attacked?
Fair enough.
Okay. Sylvie.
We're still killing this big guy, yeah?
I mean, I am.
Good. You are who I was asking. Thank you.
He didn't surrender like the other two, so.
Great. So Sylvie's gonna, like, pull back and jam her staff into this guy's groin.
Roll a hit.
Oh. I accidentally hit dart, but 11 to hit.
It does hit.
Oh my goodness, that's so wonderful. Alright.
Roll damage.
Here's the damage. 6 bludgeoning damage into the groin.
Finish him.
And then
In his
she's
groin?
going to... Yeah, right into the groin. She just jams it right into his space. And uses, with that jammed into his groin, she's going to leverage herself up, push herself up, and kick him right into in the throat. For an unarmed strike, that's going to be 21 to hit.
He was already dead.
With 7 damage.
Stop! He's already dead!
So, he's dead.
Impaling her staff into his groin, Sylvie pole vaults up into the air, and as the life leaves his eyes and he starts falling over, he does a flying strike from above and just caves his head in onto the ground.
Great.
And he is dead.
No, what the hell are these
Did I miss
people saying
Mizuno?
about
I
plants?
did miss Mizuno. I'm so sorry, Mizuno. Bareth, you're up.
Take a knee and drink a potion at this point, because I don't know what else is going on. I see the big guy going down. And
You did hear the guy in the back scream about other room, walls, deadly plants, and you all did hear the wall come down in the back there, and what sounded like gravel and stone kind of fall scattered. Definitely a loud crash.
Got it. I'll sort of stumble over to Wilrick and say, "So what's the play now? I'm pretty much done. You have anything for plants?" I don't have anything for plants.
You know, there's always acid.
That'll probably work.
Just like in...
I'll swig one of these minor healing potions that I have.
Yep.
Because I'm not running into that room, and there is nothing that I can see right now. So I gotta wait, I guess.
All right, we'll say that happened sometime before Sylvie put that man to the fucking dirt. Runa, everyone's dead, but you from your angle can see that there is some sort of mass of
That's what I was gonna ask.
wood and vine
You can
creeping out.
see. Yeah. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yells over to Barrett. You got any more of them healing potions? Then seeing somewhat familiar situation.
Not
The
familiar.
room.
Not familiar.
Not familiar, even. Oh,
Not familiar to you.
Yep, not
Okay.
familiar to you.
All right. Well, then, not familiar. Knowing she had the same thought process the last time. She saw these.
She's diving back in the fire?
No, she scrapes along the corner of the room where she's in, grabs a little pinch of sand from the beach that they're on. And whispering, everybody stop, holding out and drizzling the sand in front of her. She casts sleep very quietly in this. Hang on, oops.
Yeah, you can get
This
that group.
area
So noticing what seems like
here.
several new combatants enter the field, Runa does pick up a bit of sand and cast sleep. Go ahead and roll the dice for that. I believe it's 4d8. Or is it 6d8? I'm not sure.
Or it's whatever the spell says. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I can tell you. It is.
Trying to find your thing real quick.
Well, you should be able to click on it on your character sheet, I believe.
I am.
Yeah, it's weird. It
let's
doesn't
see.
work like
There's
that.
this
Oh, okay.
additional 2d8, but what's the. 5d8. 5d8. It's in
5d8? Wow.
I cannot check that because
One,
it's taking
two, three,
forever
4,
to.
5. Yes, I promise.
Okay, I believe you.
14.
13,
14.
14. Yeah, it's 5d8, 14. Okay.
It starts with the creature with the lowest hit points.
Okay. You can't see exactly what has happened. But you have cast sleep.
Fantastic.
You're a bit too far away, and these things don't seem like they would give any indication of what was happening. All right.
What? We see these things? Is this.
You can see that, yeah.
Okay, is this a creature, or can I just not tell what this is?
It's I described them. They're the plant things. They're the vines. The undulating mass of vines in the humanoid
Oh, okay. Are they creatures that would also fall asleep?
shape. They did not fall asleep. You can't tell from there.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right,
Gotcha. Thank you.
Wilrick.
All right. So I heard Runa. I think you muttered something about potions, right? So I run over.
Good.
Runa, here you go. And I hand her. Can I hand her 2 of the potions? Like, not necessarily consuming them, but
Yeah, you just give
hand
it
them.
to.
Is there any way that I can have her drink it as my turn, or like just throwing
You
it on
can
the
pop
ground
the
work?
bottle and pop it in her mouth like a mother feeding a baby.
All right. All right.
You're gonna help her shotgun it.
I say, open wide.
You crack open the back of it and then pull.
Glug, glug, glug.
I put a hole in the bottom.
It's funny that you described the mother, but really he's 3 foot tall, so it's almost like the child helping the mother
Yeah.
shotgun a beer.
Lean down, I have a
crouched
potion for
behind
you.
the thing. Yeah, I'm crouched behind the thing, so I might be the right height.
You healed 2 points of damage, Runa.
You're good people, Wilrick. I promise I'll stop forgetting your name.
That's okay, Luna.
Bareth, I'm gonna give you one more go.
I have a feeling I'm going to regret this, but we'll move. And kind of peek around the corner and see what's in this other room.
You see what I described earlier, this humanoid-shaped mass of vines that's just writhing and swirling, and they kind of seem to, the second you enter in near them, they already have like a god, like it's hard, they don't look at you, but you get a sense that they know you're there in the way that the vines kind of react, and the body's very jittery and very, you know, like a doll possessed. Is kind of like just snapping everywhere. And
got it. All right. So there are these two things here, and then what are these?
They look like logs that have tipped over and are just sitting on the ground.
All right. So I see logs. Got it. And I see vine things. Cool. I will. Do I have an angle on this guy?
Absolutely. Yep.
Cool.
Oh, you do also notice a giant spike pit in front of you. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. There is a wooden bridge in front of you, but right around the corner, I think you're the first one to look in that direction, there is a giant spike pit.
Yeah, I'll kind of look in the room, look down at that. I will raise my hand as some dark shadows start to envelop some of my fingers, and focus on two of them as I snap and point at one of the undulating shrubs while saying Eldris, and I will attempt to cast
Eldritch Blast. You hear a voice whisper in the back of your head, "Our will be done." And
I really hope so.
roll to hit. Oh! Is that the first one?
Very nice.
Is that the
Apparently,
first
all I can do is
critical
Eldritch
roll
Blast.
of the stream? Let's go.
We told you what your true purpose was.
You notice your mummified hands start to glow a ghostly white, and the normal dark light that emits when you cast your Eldritch Blast seems to have an outline of white around it as it blasts straight through the chest of this creature, and as it kind of spins, it goes, and you hear like vines crack and twigs snap inside of it as the entire thing just kind of spaghettis open and blasts apart as it's instantly vaporized by your Eldritch Blast.
Gabagool.
Who said Gabagool?
And after that, I'll just sort of lean against the wall a little bit because I'm still feeling a little winded after.
A little woozy here.
Yeah, still bleeding, you know.
Good move.
And I'll call out, yes, there are in fact plants.
The remaining pulsating mass is going to quickly approach you, Trell. And as it like goes over the sandbags, it kind of flips over itself, and it always seems to reform its humanoid shape And as it gets near you and it realizes it can't quite reach you, it's gonna open up what seems to be a mouth, and out of it will spew another shot of
Oh no.
of fuck you.
Oh no.
8, and it just not its day. You are prepared for it as it fires, goes a bit high. You duck down, and the wood roof above you now has a couple needles hanging from it, but nothing much to speak of. And it still looks almost like a bobcat ready to strike. All four staring at you as it is your turn.
All right, so I'm gonna take a quick glance to make sure Frederick has not, in fact, run away this time. Seeing that he's still there,
Not yet.
as
not yet.
I step forward, I kind of drag the edge of my staff along the ground and cast Shillelagh. I'm just like, spores be with me, and it kind of blooms into almost like a kind of a mushroomy, spore-filled, I don't know, something around it.
Like a wreath
And-
of mushrooms kind of pops out the
Yes.
top. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to take a shot at it. See, with that staff.
Shillelagh!
Bonk.
Surprisingly, that hits.
Hey,
Oof.
Damn.
nice.
A mighty, hearty swing with her now mushroom-filled staff cracks the creature over the head, and as you crack it, the spores from your mushroom seem to, kind of poof off of it, almost as if, you're blowing the seeds off a dandelion. And it seems to really affect the creature as it starts to struggle to move, and struggles to maintain its shape, but it remains alive.
Ah, shoot.
Frederick.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to my left and see this. Looks like a forge. Is that?
To your left is a wall.
I'm sorry. It's not right. I'm looking at it how I would be looking in the room.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I am right. I am right.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I? So let me see. Am I able to heat up my longsword in those embers?
If you wanted to run over, dip your sword in it, and then run at the creature, you absolutely could.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, Frederick. You see Frederick run away from the creature. Was just shock you at first, Trell.
I'm like,
Motherfucker.
As he takes his sword, two hands, plunges it deep into the previously burning forge, pulls it out. Now it glows with a slight pink, orangish pink hue, and then he sprints towards the creature, I'm guessing, and makes a flaming strike. Roll to hit.
15 to hit.
15 hits. Do damage and add 1d4 fire damage as well.
Ooh.
nice.
Ooh.
Frederick,
Oh,
Very good.
finish it off for us, buddy.
Okay, so as I see this bad memory of a creature in front of me, I will sort of like at a downward angle up, slice it straight down the middle with my glowing sword, and just set it on fire as it disappears into just ash.
I love it. As you have, right when you pulled your sword out of the forge, you kind of dragged it on the ground as you brought it into an uppercut, slicing this thing in half as the pieces of it, that, like kind of like you're cutting down a, taut string. This thing just kind of unravels and burns apart, and flops to the ground, dead and lifeless. with that, the only remaining... Oh, I'm sorry. One more log, baby! You see one more spider log come out from the darkness. And he says, everyone else is dead. I'm ready to fuck.
No one expects third log.
No one expects the third log. Sir, a third log has entered the tower. All right.
There's our 9/11 joke.
There it is, the one. Earlier. We get one.
You said we couldn't do it.
This is also interesting in that Belgit, it's your turn. You now turn and notice that there is 2 more people fighting things here, as a red hot blade has just torn one of these vine creatures asunder. It'll be on you to make contact with these people.
All right. I look and immediately start assessing him as I'm moving. I notice that they absolutely don't look like the bandits that we just mowed down.
No.
So I'm going to step onto the bridge. Now, my question with the returning hand axe is, I have my great axe out. Can I hold the great axe in one arm and draw the returning hand axe and throw it?
Yeah. I'm not.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely, you can.
I look at them and I look at, I guess, what are 2 tree creatures taking a nap and one standing menacingly.
In front of you seems like 3 hollow logs, 2 of them just laying on the ground, and one of them has what seems to be spider-like twig appendages propelling it forward.
Well, I've already made my views on plants known, so I'm going to draw the returning hand axe and throw it at the one standing up.
Okay.
As I kind of also look at them and just go, "You're not with the bandits, are you?" It's like throwing this hand axe. Let's
Does
see.
it look like we're with the bandits?
That's why I'm asking. 13 a hit.
That hits.
6 points of slashing damage.
You pull out this magical hand axe that you recently bought. As described to you, when you throw it, it will go 15 feet from you and then return. It goes 15 feet forward straight into the barky flesh of this wooded twig creature in front of you. Then grabs the entire wooded twig creature and flies back into your hand. Twig creature attached, as you now have on your axe this weird spider log trying to get at your face. In your hand. It seems hurt, but not yet dead.
Interesting.
If a tree could make noise, it would be like... I guess. I don't know.
Don't worry, its bark is worse than its bite.
All right, Wilrick explodes spontaneously.
Oh,
Twig creatures come out of Wilrick's chest and devour him whole.
Oh god, he was twig creatures the whole time.
he was 3 twig creatures in a trench coat.
It's an inside job.
Good move.
Just like 9/11.
Sylvie. Oh my god. Sylvie.
Alright. Sylvie is just knock this guy down hard. And she's gonna look around. And see where is there still there's nothing to kill.
Yeah, there is. I'm shaking it off my axe.
Oh, I found it. It's right in front of you. Wow. I'm
see
so
him, like,
sorry.
Swinging around this hand axe as this twig spider is trying to reach his.
Yeah. She's gonna run over under this dead guy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can we both stand on this safely? We're both small.
I would normally make it like difficult terrain to walk through a dead body, but I'm okay with saying you just do a diagonal move there instead of running through him. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, and you could stand there on the bridge. You are precariously perched, as directly below you is a pit of
I'm like
is it called?
holding
I'm
onto
so
his
sorry.
leg.
This might be a term for vagina. Punjabi? Is that?
No, that's just
Whoa,
Indian.
It's a
You're thinking punani.
What is it called when the spikes are like they did it in Vietnam and like the spike traps? I think they're called Punjabi. Am I wrong about that?
Punji.
Punji.
Punji. Yeah, that's close.
Punji. Thank you. Punji pit.
Oh my god, we're gonna get canceled in our first.
What
The
the fuck
vagina
is
thing is still
Punjabi?
punani.
Stop saying
That's
Punjabi.
not-
Punjabi is a language and state in Punjab is a state in India.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna whack.
If any of you could speak plant, you'd know that they do speak in a Punjabi. It's a
There's
Punjabi
a whole
Punji
state
pit.
down at that pit.
Oh my goodness.
They're of the regional dialect of Punjabi. Anyway. Silly.
Swing the quarterstaff.
Oh,
Half
Okay,
the
I'm
fun
gonna
in
say,
D&D
if
is
you-
mispronouncing and misusing words,
I was
folks.
gonna say this before you rolled. It is on his hand axe. So if you swing and miss, it's gonna hit him. If you swing and hit, it's gonna hit the creature.
Well,
Oh, hold on.
then,
I'll let him do it. I'll let him do a dexterity save to not get
Oh,
hit.
my weakest save.
And you just have
You're
to
gonna
beat.
do
You have to
great.
beat her to hit.
18, baby.
Nice.
Ooh.
Her staff goes wide, and it almost hits you in the head as you dodge out of the way last second.
Hit it better.
Okay, I punch. How about a natural 20?
Oh, you hit it better.
I did it.
You just needed some motivation.
After you swing and miss, he like holds his axe closer to you and like tries to hold it still as the creature's wargling and wibbling all over it. And you do the single punch that hits this twig creature, and it just explodes in splinters. If there was tree guts, which I guess is what splinters are, you would be covered in it, Belkin.
I guess tree guts are.
She
Oh
fucking
my god.
He like 1-inch single exploding fist punched this creature into bits. And for the most part, there are two inert logs and two inert humans who have, one of them has given up, the other one has had a mental breakdown. You guys are pretty much done with combat, so we can exit initiative. If you guys want to go and just kill those twigs, they're not going to react, and you'll get, any of you should be able to instant crit kill them.
I'll happily do that.
Yeah.
So hating plants that much, kind of ignoring the fighter and the druid in the corner, Belgit walks over and just, as if he's a lumberjack.
With a great axe, no less, so it's very appropriate.
With a great axe, cuts these twig creatures into tiny wooden bits. Combat is over. Great job, everybody.
We survived.
Great combat. You survived. I was worried for a second.
I was too.
Not gonna
I had
lie.
1 hit point.
we're lucky that big guy missed 5 different fucking attacks.
Yeah, I had 4 hit points that whole time. I was like,
You had 4 hit points? Oh my god.
I had 4 hit points left when the big guy came out. I was like, oh boy, if he hits
Imagine what
one
it's like
time,
to be
I'm
very
so done.
close to being dead.
In the back of my head, it's like, maybe I won't have the wall fall over. Maybe maybe they struggled to drop the wall. So, all of you, specifically Bareth, who was not currently blowing up logs with his fists, you do notice these two in the corner, and as Belgit has gone over to chop up the rest of the wood for the fire, would you like to approach these two unknowns?
Yeah, first I'll sort of look back at Wilric and Runa and kind of give the head full motion of and then start approaching the two mysterious people that are on this other side of the room, but
Safe.
don't look like they're dressed like the bandits, and sort of say, well, what are you doing here?
So Trell kind of takes a little bit of a step back because she just saw you fry a guy with your hand, and now
yeah,
you're coming
you
up
see him
to her.
wrapping his hand up, by the way.
And, like, well, I didn't want to be here. Why are you here?
Well, we were tracking a bandit that escaped after he and his friends attacked a nearby village.
I'm gonna move in front of Trell because I'm sure I'm still under contract to protect.
Yes.
I'm tying the two bandits up, disarmed, back to back with their hands to each other with my rope.
Yeah, can I see that?
Yeah, you see him.
Oh, yeah,
You
awesome.
see a little man over there fiddling with some rope and some quivering, crying boys.
Okay, so that puts me a little bit at ease, because, screw those bandits. Like,
Mhm.
so you were tracking
I,
the leader. Were you here for us?
No, we were tracking a random bandit that managed to escape. Not sure any of these fellows were even him, actually. We just happened upon this particular cave, an entrance, and how did the two of you end up here? Were you also... Is there another entrance that you came in through, or...
Well, looks really confused as she's trying to remember. Frederick, do you know?
Can you do history checks, both of you, for me? Trell think
can I also
head hard
do one to see if I would recognize... I recognize Frederick's...
Yes, you can do a history check to recognize Frederick's crest. Absolutely. Frederick, you do remember, because you were somehow smart enough to pretend you were knocked out. You actually came to. You guys were jumped on the road after fighting a creature that looked much like this.
Mhm.
You had two other people with you that they just kind of chucked in the ditch on the side because they were both seemingly dead. And they brought you in here, tied you up with the strongest hempen chain they could.
Hempen chain.
You think they might have even enchanted it to make it unbreaking.
Oh my goodness.
And you sat there and pretended to be asleep until you heard people start fighting, at which point you decided to stop pretending and try to break out. So
Okay.
you remember that. How much of that you want to tell them, it's up to you.
Okay. So I remember. So I'm gonna look at Trell and be like, I remember us being on that road, getting jumped. But I'm just gonna sum it up. Everything you said. I'll tell everything.
Including
He
being
says what I
asleep.
said.
Yeah.
Wait, so you could have untied yourself
Roll the 14.
way earlier.
Remember, that was a heck of a chain.
Of a hemp rope.
Yeah.
You notice, Runa, as
do
these two
I
are
recognize him?
as you're bickering, you do recognize his crest. That is the crest of the House of Locke, a family in Waterdeep that's known for being like muscle or bodyguards for nobles when they're out and about in the city or when they go on long journeys or travels.
Do I know if someone who's like aligned with me or no?
They are good people.
Would I
Your family would have
I-
done business with them before, absolutely.
okay, yeah, they don't like do business for like the other mafia family or something.
You're not a mafia family.
Not the mafia. I didn't say that. Locke, I say as I slowly walk to him. I recognize symbols on your armor.
Okay. I'm assuming
I'm of
you've,
the house.
On his shield and
The
on
house
his
can-
armor, by the way, is a emblem depicting a like a padlock, an ornate padlock with a large keyhole in the center.
Okay.
Very literal family. Their name's Locke. Fuck it, they have a padlock as a symbol. I don't know.
He's the smart. He's the smart one.
He's the smartest of his
Locks
family.
are a major theme today. I recognize that symbol.
Oh,
I'm
do
of
you
the
now?
House Kendrician.
You recognize Kendrician, Frederick, as being one of the wealthier trading families. In fact, you constantly have run jobs for the Kendricians. They're a good, noble people, assholes, right? Very much holier than thou, and they, don't really speak to you as if you're a person, but they pay well, and their jobs are legit, and their business is clean.
Okay.
I apologize for you having to likely deal with my uncle.
Don't worry. I'm newer to the business. You probably have more business from my other family members.
I hope this means that you feel that you can trust me.
Trust you. She feels that you can. Did you hear that?
I hope
No.
I hope Frederick Locke, if that is your name that I don't know yet. Locke, I hope you feel like this means that you can trust me, and that you would not try to harm me or my traveling companions.
roll perception for me, Frederick, really quick.
While that's going on, I'm kind of walking
Oh.
back, but I want to
Oh.
look. I want to look at the corpses and see if there's anything obviously
Not
like
great. Not
alchemist or
great. Not
anything
great.
as I
On,
walk by.
on the guy behind the counter, you do notice he has a flask of that alchemist fire as well.
The big guy.
Liar.
If that's what you're looking. No, the guy you tied up, one of the ones behind the counter that was
Okay.
catatonic, he had one.
Sure.
Yeah. Frederick,
I grabbed
with your perception check, you looked at this person in front of you who's claiming to be of House Kendrician, one of the richest families in Waterdeep, and she is in tattered rags. She's fucking caked in mud. She's messy hair, dirty, and on top of all that, she's a half elf. Ugh.
It's like she was on fire once.
Yeah.
Recently.
She's charred and she's burnt and she's crispy and ain't no way. Anyway, continue.
Okay. So you're gonna have to show me some more proof, because what I'm looking at ain't it.
He's not wrong,
First,
Runa. You don't
seems
look like a noble.
incredibly offended, and she stares him down with eyes of daggers. And she hears what Barrett is saying. She looks down at her tattered, muddy clothes once again. She sighs and she holds out her hand and shows him her signet ring.
I'm gonna take a good look at that.
Okay, roll a I guess investigation.
No.
Ooh.
20.
Nice, nice.
You have no idea
Oh,
what the signet ring would really look like, but what the ring in front of you is well made, very good material, right? Wealthy, and it's especially old, weathered. This wasn't something that was like made as a forgery. This is legit.
Okay, so I'll believe you for now.
All right,
Father,
you
the inventor
kind
of
of
toaster strudel will not be. No, sorry.
your body like untenses, it's loose, and you kind of lower your shield and sword, and you can turn to Trell and let her know that okay, these people are legit.
Okay. I'm gonna look back at Trell and sort of like motion for her to move up.
I'm just
Move closer.
100% gonna trust that and be like, oh, Oh, thank goodness, because we really need just anybody on our side at this point. You didn't see two other guys tied up anywhere in here, did you?
No.
Frederick,
Just bandits.
Turn around and look at
What?
the guys behind the bar and say, "Yep, over there."
Yeah.
No. We just
kinda
tied
look.
them up. They weren't
Like, oh,
tied up when
no.
we came in.
No, that's not them.
You could ask the people tied up if they know where your other companions are.
Hey, person with Bob 3.
Can I roll a I don't know, some kind of intelligence or wisdom check to maybe make the connection between what we saw when we walked in?
What'd you see when you walked in? Oh, the
The caskets.
oh, no, you could just say that. You just
We didn't see any people tied up, but they're the two people I tied up, and there were a couple bodies in caskets when we walked in the other room.
Was
Was
one of them a
Didn't kill
tiefling?
them.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They're bodies in
boppers.
caskets. We didn't check it out. We had a fight.
That's
was
fair.
one of
there
them
is a
stripping his
living
instruments?
bandit who is currently tied up next to
of
another
them.
one who's a sniveling mess. If you guys want to ask the bandit instead of just asking each other questions none of you have the answer to.
Hey,
Not getting
coworker of
anywhere
Bob
near this
3.
bandit.
Hey, there were a couple
Don't
friends.
hurt me!
I mean, you two are tied up. I'm not
released
going to hurt you.
the-
Don't worry. I remember I was yelling stop.
Spell should be over.
There were a couple other people, I guess, who were with the people in the back room. Do you know where they are or what happened with them?
You said a lot. Hold on. The other people in the back room, and then he notices Frederick has gotten untied. And he's like, oh, you're talking about your friends, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
To Frederick, he says, you're talking about your friends, right?
Yeah, the musician and the other one.
The music-
The other one.
Right, we picked them up with you when we hit you with the net. And then one of them didn't look like he was breathing. So we left him in the dirt. And the other one wouldn't shut up about playing his instruments. So halfway down the road, we just kind of kicked him off.
Oh, well, he's never gonna find his dad now.
I didn't know his dad. You
I
looking
mean-
for a dad?
We'll go back
I
to
never
Chelsea.
knew
Yeah.
my father.
Oh dear God. I mean,
It's a
I
shame that's
guess
how he turned out.
they told us people would disappear and get killed in the woods. I guess that's.
Oh, you're fucking telling me? Why do you think we're making a run for it?
And you were just gonna leave us
would
here.
like to be shuffling through this desk here.
He says to you, bro. He says, listen, love, we passed by on our way out of fucking High Forest. Two people not paying attention, covered in goods. We're not gonna pick them up. If anything, you should be thanking us. We saved your damn life. You were heading straight into the wood.
We were trying to go into the wood.
Why the fuck would you be trying to go into the wood?
I got stuff to do.
What
What kind of
stuff? Ain't you heard what's going on in there?
Well, why were you going into the wood then?
To rob people. He's pretty clear about that.
I mean, yeah, but if it's so
you-
dangerous.
I should say this. You notice now that there is a thick black ooze that you have these guys sitting in that's on the ground. It seems to be seeping up from underneath the floorboards.
Oh.
And
Can I check to see what it is?
Yeah, it wasn't super noticeable, but it's been getting thicker and thicker as time has been going on. You can do a nature check if you'd like.
Ew.
It's rot. It's rotted plant matter, and it almost has like a sap-like texture to it.
And it's coming from this part of the wall?
Yeah, it's coming from the wall behind you, and it's kind of like seeping up through the floorboards.
So like mid-conversation, I'm just going to leave and go around back to the corner.
Okay. And anyway,
And
your
just-
friends... Oh, what? Okay.
While all this is going on, I want to check and see what's on the big dude that we killed, because he seemed to be the boss.
Right. So to save time, because it is getting a little bit late, I'm going to say that all of you collectively choose to check all the bodies for any valuables, correct?
Mhm.
Yep.
Sounds very likely.
Would you like to appoint one of you to be the treasurer at this point? Is anyone here good with numbers?
Or
I'll do it.
nope.
I like numbers.
All right, well, we're
Sounds
going to
good.
simplify this. You roll a perception check. Normally we'd do this a bit more. We've been here for a bit though. All right, you find Wilrick.
I find Wilrick, huh?
You find
Finding yourself is very
No,
valuable.
You found yourself.
Among all the bandits, you find 20 pieces of silver.
Ooh.
4 pieces of gold on the big guy.
Okay.
And then also on the big guy, he has a pair of brass knuckles that he didn't quite have a chance to use, and they were kind of in his pocket. And that is the bodies on the floor.
All right. All right. We'll divide this up outside of
Yeah.
stream. Or,
Just
Yeah, until we get to town, it doesn't really matter. So.
Anyone else want to check anything before we continue with the talking?
Runa
Wanna
was
check the
checking
desk?
the
What is?
desk.
Can I move? Yeah.
All right, perception check from
What's
Runa.
going on here?
Bareth, what are you doing?
I was over here with Runa also to check the desk, but
All right, you can roll perception as well.
in addition,
Yes, please.
yes,
Also roll
but
perception.
also to kind of see if I could get some info from her. Like, so what do you know about this Locke family?
Okay, 18, got it. Trell's investigating the ooze. Sylvie,
I would have been looting the bodies with other people, so I'm just
Okay.
over here.
looting the dead.
Yeah, looting the dead.
Something you love to do. And Wilrick.
I'm checking out the forge and equipment around there.
Got it. And Frederick.
I'm shuffling through the bar for any supplies or anything like that.
Okay. I will say immediately you do find 2 flasks of hard liquor, moonshine essentially. And then there's a bunch of old ale and like rotted olives in jars and shit like that. Pig's feet. And Belgit.
Belgit has a question.
DM has an answer.
Is this still on fire?
No, it's gone.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now
Then yeah,
it's
he
gone.
walks past that and looks at the whatever the hell's in the coffin here.
Okay. Roll perception for that, or investigation, your choice.
Can I check out the coffin as well?
Yes, you can also roll perception or investigation.
8.
Actually, you can also roll a nature check if you guys would like.
Dead body. Ew.
I rolled perception.
Okay.
Everyone's. Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Dead
go
body,
in
me?
reverse order. So, as you guys approach the coffin, you do notice the person in front of you the body in the coffin, you recognize it immediately, Bogan. It's the man who got away.
Oh.
So he must have made it succumb to his injuries and died. This is a fresh death. The other coffin next to you is empty completely.
Okay. Well, we got a spare coffin here if we need it.
Nice. That'll come in
Based
handy.
on the events of today, we might need it.
Sylvie, though, you notice in the dead man's pocket is a note. There's a
Ooh, I
bit of
love
paper
those.
peeking out.
I'd like to pull that out. And may I read it?
You crawl kind of into the coffin to reach and grab it as Belgian is kind of like, oh, I know this guy. And you pull out the paper. I'm guessing staying in the coffin with the dead guy and kind of
Absolutely.
propping up your
Cuddling up to him.
elbows on his on his bloated chest.
Oh, he's a bit stiff.
It's comfy.
You read it, and in terrible broken common, and with the handwriting that looks like a child wrote it. It for the most part reads, "Dear Bob 5." No.
Well, thickens.
It says, "Trouble in Fievel, had to leave, get out of High Forest, contact," and then that's it. It seems
Trouble
like
in Fievel?
yes.
Fievel. Have I heard of a Fievel?
Trouble in
is that a
Fievel.
town, or-
Get out of High Forest, contact, and then it's somewhat illegible. It's stained with blood and dirt.
Contact redacted. Got it.
Belgit, if you want to, as she reads out loud, if you want to do a history, you might
Okay.
know it.
Oh, not today, I don't. 7.
You've never heard of it.
Never did a show there.
You've never heard of Fievel. Okay. Going back, Frederick, we did you. You got the alcohol. Going towards Wilrick. Too many Ricks. Frederick, Wilrick, Bear Rick. Wilrick, you investigate the forge. It is what you would expect of a bandit's forge. It is a rudimentary furnace. The anvil looks like it was thrown together using slag instead of actual metals. The tools are
Painful.
in poor condition. The one thing of note you find in the area, I didn't have you roll for it because I don't think it's something you would have to roll for. But there is like a somewhat well-made longsword sitting on a nearby barrel.
I grab it.
Okay. You can have one longsword. And then we're over to Runa and Bareth. Runa, you look through the desk and it is definitely a desk. Probably used for writing, maybe storage. You're not quite sure. But it's not as nice as the ones you know of. And you probably wouldn't know to search for secret compartments on a bandit's desk. Luckily, Bareth would, because Bareth has been around the block a few times. So going through the drawers, you realize one of the drawers is a lot shallower than it should be. And you kind of put your hand in there and feel around, and you feel a click as you are able to pop it open and reach a secret compartment underneath that holds 35 gold pieces. And these are not just gold pieces, it's different pieces of like jewelry or you know, metals, gems, but total it equals 35 gold. So next time you're in any town, you can sell that mass and acquire 35 pieces of gold.
Got it.
Good looking. And some
Nothing else in the secret
see
compartment,
jewels there.
I assume?
Just that, just valuables.
Got it.
You
Do
notice
I-
that a lot of stuff is like near it as if they were clearing out. Like you came in, by the way, this area you're in, they were getting ready to go. Like things are packed up. It's very sparse and scarce. Frederick.
I'll call over to Wilrick and say, Willie, looks to me like they were
Yeah?
packing up shop. You?
Yeah, seems like it. And the one guy out there was saying something about like plants and having to run, and yeah, it sure seems like some plants were attacking.
Answer your
So-
question from earlier.
They
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
they
maybe
come
maybe
through
we
the
should be worried.
wall.
What does that wall look like? Is it just a hole in the wall, like into a cave?
Going to the wall, as you see Trell standing in front of it, it is a blasted open wall. It looks like it was in disrepair probably before they moved here. And coming out of it, I will reveal now. It kind of opens up into the rest of the cave.
Interesting.
And there's a lot more of that black ooze and a lot of vines kind of coming from the water's edge. Trell, do you get closer to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get closer to it and kind of kneel down by the ooze to see if there's anything extra that I can see about it other than the fact that it's rot.
There is a lot of it. It seems to be dripping down from the ceiling, and as you look up, you see a wealth of vines covering there as well. In fact, as you look around here, never mind, because you are a human, I forgot that you don't see jack shit, except for it is dripping
Very
from
dark.
the ceiling.
Just gonna kind of wave someone over. Someone bring a light.
I'm not getting anywhere near that.
I'll start heading over. Well,
Interrupting you and Bear's conversation, do you both head on over there?
yeah.
Yeah. Because I also wanted to. Well,
Am I able to pull this torch off of the wall?
It isn't yeah. it's in a big sconce. But yeah, you can pull the sconce off the wall if you really want to.
Think stronger,
Hey.
not smarter.
Yeah. He has
Kind of amazed we have
has,
this many people who can't see in the dark and nobody has a light spell.
He has 10 fucking torches on him, and he walked up to the wall and started trying to rip the sconce off.
Well, you don't want to use an unused torch if there's one just lying around.
Yeah, you can try to rip the fuck it. Give me a strength check to rip the sconce from the wall.
It's not like torches just grow on trees.
No.
It's a shitty sconce in a shitty bandit cave. Sure, you rip it off. Congratulations, you have a burning sconce. Bareth and Wilrick. Frederick's not over there with a light, by the way. He brought a light for you, Trell.
Perfect.
It doesn't help much. It's just illuminating like 15 feet around you. So you do notice the vines now on top. But Bareth and Wilrick, you can see that these vines kind of wrap all the way along the wall of the cavern and into the water right at your feet and like right over the edge in front of you. And if you get a little bit closer, you might be able to see more. But you will have to step in the black ooze.
Is the ooze and the vines moving, or is it stationary?
The vines aren't moving very much, but the ooze is dripping from the vines.
And then it
Willie,
calls out
can
to
you
everyone.
identify what this ooze is by chance?
Says maybe we don't step in the disgusting ooze.
It's rot. I would not recommend it.
It's I described that the vines are coming up out of the water and twisting all over the walls and coming up here. Do I recognize it at all? Other than like rot.
It's rot. You can do a nature check to try to discern what it is. But Trell has told you it's rot. And you are
Rot?
also it's rotted oozing plant matter.
Okay. So it's all right. That makes sense. So I describe what it is, but I don't step into it.
Yes.
And none of the plant creatures had any of that rot on them, right?
they were definitely, when you hit them, they would the vine creatures, they would ooze a bit of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's
Not,
as if.
not in this quantity though.
So it
Interesting.
You were saying earlier, rot aside, that you were headed into the forest.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
I have to get some. Have you heard of shadewood mushrooms?
Oh yeah,
I've heard of
Getting
those.
some
Yeah.
for a friend in Waterdeep.
Luna
Ah,
rolls her eyes at the
interesting.
mushroom
Who's your friend in-
discussion.
Who's your friend in Waterdeep?
He's oh god, his name's so familiar, or no, so similar. It's Wilker Stoutstitch. Have you heard of him?
Would I have heard of him?
Wilker
Given that I-
Stoutstitch, yeah, he's in the same trade of alchemy as you would be.
Sure. Oh yeah, Wilker. He's he doesn't make as good of stuff as I do. But
Frel
he's
looks a
decent
little
guy.
almost insulted on
You can do an insight
This-
check if you want.
this guy's behalf.
Me or Trell?
Trell. Do you genuinely think his stuff is shit, Wilbert?
Is he just a regular guy, or is he like?
I mean, he has a shop in Waterdeep, but you don't like
sure.
you don't like the guild
Yeah.
people, so you.
I genuinely think that my stuff is better than that, like mundane everyday stuff that people make.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
How could you say that? His stuff's great.
Well, I mean, he's not creative like I am.
Trell kind of looks you up and down, and it's like, okay, be creative.
So,
Kinda.
I whip open my duster, and like on the inside panel of one of my interior vests, there are a whole bunch of various like vials and little pouches and tins and stuff of different colored cosmetics and dyes and everything. I go, look at this. With this, you can look any way you want. You can change your hair, you can change your skin, you can put stuff on your skin that will make it so the sun doesn't hurt you. You can make your hair fall off. You can make your hair grow back. I think.
Why would you want your hair to fall off?
While they're bickering, can I like poke at the black goo with the sconce?
You take your flame and put it near the black ooze, and you are surprised to see that it kind of
It reacts to it.
Not reacts. It alights.
Oh,
I need
no.
everyone standing near the black ooze to make a dexterity check.
Oh no.
It reacts just very violently.
Wait, how do you roll a save?
Thank you.
Shit, how do you roll a save versus a check?
It's on the left.
Oh, gotcha.
My
Do I also need to roll this?
You're good.
Okay.
All of you instinctively, luckily, take a step back as a flame just erupts forward, almost like oil had caught fire, right? It just, and in a flash, the entire thing just lights up and just burns in this huge. And unfortunately, at the same time, you do start to hear screaming as the two men in the room on the other side who you had tied up also catch on fire. And go, oh, no, not like this! And they are both burnt alive in this ooze. Which
What's going on over there?
you guys
I almost back into Bareth as I'm leaping back.
you guys
Like
turn
Frederick.
Belgit and Sylvie to see these two you tied up on fire. They're not dead immediately. If either one of you wants to try to help them, you can.
I'll go
attempt
put
to.
him out.
Well,
Do you
it's
have any
a
water?
inferno
Get out
you'd
of
be
here?
stepping into.
Oh, jeez.
You would
Can we
have
get
to.
out
You would
of
have to
here?
reach your hand into fire.
You know what? I'll do it.
Okay, Belgit. You step forward.
Did we not learn from the last fire?
You step forward, grab the guy, and you take 10 points of damage. I'm gonna let you. Hold on. I didn't have you roll dexterity to do it quickly, so roll dex, and if you save, it'll be half damage. To do a dex save.
Is there any way I can use acrobatics?
No, there's no acrobatics that can be done here. You're reaching in, trying to pull them out as quickly as possible.
And
5 points of damage as you were able to pull one of them out.
I pull out the one who's not catatonic.
Okay. The catatonic one is pulled out on fire and screaming, "Oh, help me! Help!" The other one, unless Sylvie wants to step in.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I'll help. Can I assist?
Oh,
You can go
Watch.
over and help put the one out on the ground, but the
Okay.
other one does burn to death.
Yeah,
Tied
sorry,
up,
bud.
scared, afraid.
I'm glad I removed the alchemist fire from him.
Yeah,
Oh, that would have been.
This
he had a day.
This fire burns, by the way, for about a minute before it finally settles down. But that was an intense burn, and when it's gone, the area is charred. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, when you set it alight, the fire did jump to the ceiling above you, Frederick, and lit all of those vines on fire as well. And they burnt for a bit before the ooze burnt off, and now the vines just look a bit charred.
I look at the other
will
room and go,
slowly,
what the hell happened?
Bella's just
I will
shaking her head.
slowly turn to the fighter and say, "You should always be careful what you put a flame next to."
Hey man,
What
I was
did I
curious.
do?
I was curious.
He's a
You
paladin.
can be curious without
Oh.
poking it with fire.
Listen,
Then I will
listen.
turn to
They'd surrendered, you
Other-
sick bastards. God. Even I'm not that messed up.
in
say, "Does rot usually do that?"
Does rot usually burn like that?
I mean, dead plant does, but that was a intense burn. Do me it was intense burn. If you want to make a specific perception check, Sylvie and Trell, because you know nature a bit more, I'll give you do perception with advantage.
Hey.
Because you're both kind of investigating what that smell was. Also, amazingly, Frederick, you gain inspiration.
Oh, that didn't actually roll with advantage, so I'm gonna roll again.
So click inspiration. Inspiration lets you re-roll any dice check that you make.
Okay. I rolled literally the same thing.
Okay.
I am proficient in nature, just I'm not sure if that makes a
Oh
difference.
yeah, you're
here,
close too. You can do it as well.
But yeah.
Sorry, I forgot you were there. Sylvie, you now smell something or notice something in the air. Methane. You smell. You know enough dead bodies to know the gases that build up in them when they're dead. There's methane filling the air now. Or there was a lot more of it earlier before you set it alight.
This mold seems to be holding methane gas, which is why it burned up the way it did.
Oh, that's not good.
like I said,
Yeah.
we should go.
We should.
It's just so
Probably go.
interesting,
Luna's
though.
got the right idea.
Hey, Wilrick, do you have any burn cream?
Oh, are you hurt?
Yeah, you could say I'm pretty hurt.
Oh, here, I kind of follow Wilrick into the room. I can help you. I can. What's burn?
If you were to estimate my effectiveness, it'd be at about 25% right now.
Just due to the essence of time, I'm gonna say that you guys all start making your way out of the cave, correct? Having seen everything that just happened. So let's put you guys all at the. Let's have you all leave. And we'll say that you guys do share the information you gathered. So Sylvie, Belgit, you do tell them, hey, I found the guy we killed. He was the one in the coffin. And you guys also have a unconscious bandit underneath. I'm guessing you're carrying someone's probably Frederick, as he's not burnt currently and uninjured, is carrying this bandit under his arm. As you guys leave the camp, new acquaintances, possibly new friends. And you are all going to level up to level 2.
Hey.
I hope the bandit's okay.
Hey.
And that is session 1. Ladies
Nice.
and gentlemen, and non-binary pals. Yay!
Woo! We didn't die.
Are we rolling hit
Mostly.
points?
Well, some
Or
of
are
us
we-
did
We can
die.
do hit
Fixed value.
points off stream.
Okay.
Find me when I'm not busy.
Yeah.
We'll do hit points, okay, guys?
Okay.
But congrats, everyone. Level 2. You're out of level 1. You can actually do things now instead of
That's
just
right.
instead of just randomly swing. Let's get
Nah,
a
that's
big
about all I
thank
got.
you, and if you feel like clapping in chat for our wonderful cast here. Runa played by Kiz, Bareth played by Mizuno, Frederick played by Kaizen, Trell played by Saf, Wilrick played by Halden, Sylvie played by Chegahai, and Belgit played by Lozar. Thanks, guys. You guys did great. Hey, good first game, guys.
Hell yeah.
We have a fun mix of new people and people who've played a bit, and then people who've played a lot. So it's really cool seeing this come together. I had a lot of fun. That was a great time. Thanks for letting me DM for you guys. Hope
Thanks
you
for
enjoyed your
DMing for
first
us.
encounter. Of course, happy to do so. Trell and Frederick, you'll be in the whole thing next time, which will be fun.
Yay, finally.
What you get for dying in session 0? I didn't even know that's possible.
You know, things
Are they
happen.
gonna
One
start
thing
right
leads
up
to
again?
another.
Kidnap. We didn't die. We're the ones that lived, right?
We're getting
Different.
knocked unconscious.
So yeah, we are gonna do hopefully at least one stream of this a week. I will I have a Discord exclamation. No, fuck, it doesn't work. It doesn't work here.
Get it though.
One of the mods put a link to my Discord. Normally on stream, I'm Swag Dracula. I'm a horror streamer. This is just my Twitch channel for playing D&D. We're brand new. Very happy to be playing for you guys. I know it's at the end of D&D, I always want to go more hours. I'm sure a lot of people in chat feel that way too. If you want more of this, I'm going to be doing one DM stream where we do a campaign session, and then one D&D, like you can ask me questions stream. So look out for those on this channel. And then most of the other days of the week, I'll be playing horror. But
On there too.
there is the Discord in chat. Zaffron just posted it. If you want to join, if you have any D&D questions, if you have any questions at all, I'll let you know there. But I'm thinking Tuesday seems to work for people. I heard Sunday can work next week as well. Does anyone have a problem with Sunday?
With
yes.
wrestling pay-per-views
I-
and football and
Yeah, next Sunday, wrestling pay-per-views.
How's Tuesday?
Tuesday is good.
Tuesday's good.
Oh, so good.
I will try it.
Okay,
Monday,
Tuesday it is.
Tuesday, both good.
So next Tuesday, guys, 1 week from today, we'll be back again for session 2, and hopefully you guys can get near the forest that time. I said 20 sessions, looking more like 80, but we'll see. You guys did great. Thank you, all of you. I know it's late. If you have to go, go. Thank you guys very much. I had a great time with you guys, and can't wait for next Tuesday.
That was fun.
Hey, see you next Tuesday. That's a great one. Hey. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
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 Everybody.
And thank you guys very much in chat. I had a wonderful time. I hope you guys had fun too. I'm kind of new to online D&D, so I'm trying to still figure out little bits and bobbles. If you have any suggestions, complaints, criticisms, or compliments you want to give me, feel free to reach out again on the Discord. I'm going to right click and spam it really quick. Just so you guys have it. And then yeah, if you want to join, we would love to see you. There's a Discord link. Have a great night. Thank you to everyone who watched. This was fantastic. I would love I would love so much to get partnered on this channel, which we are fucking sprinting towards. If we have 5 more streams at about this amount of people, we'll just instantly get partnered, which would be really funny to have 2 partner channels. So I'm glad you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching. You're amazing people. If you're brand new, I'm so happy you're here. And if you've come from my old channel, I'm happy as well. If you haven't hit the follow button, hit it. Can't wait to see you guys again Tuesday, and maybe before that, maybe Sunday for some D&D AMA. Be good people. Love yourselves. Have a great night, and see you Tuesday.